Keep my ground so clean.
The heart and soul of the Cayman people. Thank you for keeping the culture alive.
Spread the news every day. From East End to Georgetown, down into West Bay.
Radio Cayman in the Cayman Islands.
Oh, I think they're doing a great job. A lot of them are.
Good afternoon, Dwayne. How are you?
Not too bad, sir.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Radio Cayman's Talk Today with Sterling Dwayne Ebanks.
But I do have some questions.
There are more questions than answers.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. If you're ready to talk, we're willing to listen.
Well, I really enjoy this program today.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners participation program.
May God bless every person.
Hey, good afternoon and welcome. Thank you so much for joining us as we invite you to be a part of our discussion. It's going to be open line, so give us a shout. 949-8037 or 1-800-534-8255. Stay tuned for Talk Today.
Talk Today is brought to you by Fidelity Bank. For all your banking needs, visit fidelitygroup.com. Fidelity, we're good for you.
Also brought to you by greenturtle.ky. Take a ride on the Green Turtle Express today. Download the Green Turtle app. The future of mobile. Saving lives today. Radio Cayman's Talk Today, the Cayman Islands' foremost listeners participation program. We ask our listeners to avoid statements or comments which are abusive, derogatory, malicious, or defamatory. Do not use any indecent language or make any statement which is false or misleading. Email talktoday@candw.ky or call 1-800-534-8255. Courtesy of Flow.
Cayman's #1 network that connects you to your world like never before.
Let your voice be heard. Once again, here's your host, Sterling Dwayne Ebanks.
Hey, good afternoon and welcome back. And we invite you to call and share your thoughts. A number of things that you can relate to us. Certainly want to invite you and engage you in a number of different areas. But first and foremost, together with all of us here, I really came on. We want to continue to publicly pay our tribute and remind the family of the former MLA and the late, Miss Esther, as we all knew her affectionately. They are indeed in our prayers. And as you know, I will tell you officially about the funeral tomorrow, the schedule. But today, Miss Esther was laid in state. She passed away on April the 23rd. And she was affectionately loved and known as a representative in the district in from West Bay in the Legislative Assembly. And there's going to be, motorcade drive through, West Bay today, so all who are out and about have a chance to come out and show their respects to the family. In these different times, we recognize that we can't reach out how we would normally to show our respects, to draw alongside families. So maybe this is one way that we can do it. As former MLA Miss Esther, formerly Miss Leonie Esteline Ebanks, we all call her Miss Esther. For some of us, we probably didn't even realize as young children that she probably had another name that was much longer than that. Like so many, we either call them by the first name with a handle Miss or A or Auntie or something to show great deference to them. So you can show our respects as the procession leaves Delhi. There's a final farewell drive through Northwest Point, around Bosun Bay, Courtyard area, through Hill Road, along to Town Hall, then to Stadium Drive, up to Bush Tree Hill Road, then to Spanish Bay Road, through Captain Regional Parsons Drive, Mount Pleasant, Willow Fountain Drive, and then back to West Bay Road, and finally returning to Georgetown. Now, for those who want, the funeral service for Miss Esther will be tomorrow. Yes, because of the times we're in, just for the immediate family, it's going to be at 1 o'clock at the Church of God Chapel on Academy Way. With interment at the Garden of Eden Cemetery in Peter Castle Road. But CIG TV, the YouTube only, will carry the farewell proceedings fully on CIGTV from next week. So register your respects on the BortonFuneralService.com website. We'll remind you of the link and the route gradually, but as you're mindful and you see the procession, with the throughout West Bay, come on out and just wave, pay our tributes to many who have loved and called Miss Esther very near and dear, and to our family, and we still hold them. It's trying times, my friends. So an interesting days ahead of us, and what seemed like just weeks and months perhaps have passed like years. So we invite you to call and share your thoughts. Maybe there's something inspirational that you want to be a part of today. Maybe there's something that you want to remind us of, and not necessarily always the way you see it is the way it is, but maybe it just is. So we invite you to do a couple of things. 1:30 in particular, but do it anytime. But 1:30 in particular, if there are certain things of positive note that you want to share in relation to what you experience from those who are working. Now, for me, we've come to a place where we ascribe so many names to certain things. We label so much that it's unnerving at times, the way we classify things to make it convenient for us and expedient. So, as you're out and about, maybe you want to share with us, what is it this whole ordeal has been like for you? The good, the bad, and the indifferent. As they said in the Westerns, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Well, give it to us, because I think it's only through discourse and dialogue, through a meaningful, healthy discussion, that we'll get to a point to recognize that life is indeed this wonderful place, but it can at times be preempted and co-opted if we allow it to be. Now, there are a few WhatsApp messages that we want to share with you, but before I do, I'd like to hear a couple of your sentiments as we invite you to call and share your thoughts with us. 949-8037 or 1-800-534-8255. As they say, sometimes you may be broadcasting in the dark and never know, upon whose ears your words resonate. But there are times when you need to listen more intently, so that you can not only hear that quiet, sort of still spirit that resonates within you, but to hear the voice that has been clamoring so loudly, but yet nobody is listening. It's not a case that the sky is falling, but it's a case sometimes that people have been trying to forewarn, but yet we no longer want to be forearmed because we're not willing to heed the counsel of those who've gone before. 949-8037 or 1-800-534-8255. We'll pause quickly, take a short break. When we return, be the first caller and share your thoughts with us. Stay tuned for Talk Today.
Social distancing is crucial for our community to get back to normal, and never before has communication been so crucial. Keeping in touch with family, friends, and up to date requires you to stay in touch. Green Turtle offers the solution for both. Download the Green Turtle app now. Top up yours or a loved one's phone with any mobile carrier in any destination in Cayman. Phones delivered to your home, and with the new rewards program, you can even redeem points towards a new phone and other products. Download the Green Turtle app today. Green Turtle is not only the future of mobile, but today it can help save a life. Hashtag Stay Home Cayman. Take a ride on the Green Turtle Express today. Download the Green Turtle app. The future of mobile, saving lives today.
Bring a little bit of luck to your house with Lucky Slice from America. Burgers, steak, and the all-day American breakfast. From Europe, fish and chips, pizza and crepes. And from Asia, sushi.
Breakfast, lunch, or dinner, 7 days a week, delivery or pickup, 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. In these difficult times, we can all use a little bit of luck. Keep calm and stay lucky.
Minimize contact. Make your credit card payment by phone. Pay only for food. No delivery fee. No service charge. Certain restrictions apply. Call Lucky Slice Pizza to place your delivery order now. 949-3456.
Order from Cayman Creperie, Mojo Sushi, and Lucky Slice Pizza. Call 949-3456.
Do you want to shop online at A.L. Thompson's? You can. We offer goods that you need now for your home and yard. Visit our website for details and register to shop. Currently, we sell only the items that are on the website, but we'll add products regularly and frequently to meet your needs. You could pay for your order by debit card, credit card, and store accounts. We have contact-free delivery, will not enter households, and will maintain social distance for everyone's safety. We hope that you'll enjoy shopping online at althompson.com. Please remain healthy and safe.
Staying home has just got a whole lot easier. Cayman Spirits has now launched a new delivery service, offering free home delivery of hand sanitizers and face masks. When COVID-19 struck Cayman, Cayman Spirits answered the call, repurposing their facilities to produce hand sanitizer during the island-wide shortage. Now that service is coming to your front door. Search for the Rum Runners in the App Store or visit rumrunners.ky to place your order of hand sanitizer and face mask. Free delivery with purchase of $50 or more. Rumrunners.ky by Cayman Spirits. Hashtag Stay Home Cayman.
Hello, Cayman. I'm Quincy Brown. Anybody else getting mixed up with all these new coronavirus terms? Me too. But guess what? I've watched the press conferences and I've read the press releases and I've seen all the social media posts. Look here, I can help you out. Stay at home. Stay home. No gadabout. Stay your backside home. Una got it now? If Una want to stay up to the time with what's going on, there's only one place for the real information, the Cayman Islands government. Visit gov.ky/coronavirus. Now remember, keep washing your hands, keep following the rules, and keep taking care of each other. Saving lives is Cayman kind.
Talk today. But I do have some questions. Talk today.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners participation program.
Talk today.
Because there are more questions than answers.
What the public is saying.
Waiting to take your calls right now. Sterling Dwayne Ebanks.
Hey, good afternoon and welcome back. Thank you so much for joining us, and certainly grateful for those who take time to dial and share their thoughts. Let's go straight to the phones and welcome our callers. Good afternoon. You're on Talk Today.
Good afternoon, Sterling Dwayne.
How are you today? Good afternoon to you.
Yes, I just want to shout out to the garbage guys, because if they weren't picking up the garbage, I don't know what would have happened to us.
Thank you so much.
And a special thank you to them. And I want to shout out GIS and the news crew. They're always there trying to inform us on time, on schedule. And I also want to shout out to Radio Cayman, the news team, the news crew, Susan for holding down the fort, and to you, Dwayne. That's their dedicated every day. And also, even though he's not on right now, but to everybody in Radio Cayman, the management and all of that, because you guys are on top of things and you're always keeping us informed. No matter what, you're always there and during the storm, whatever the situation is, Radio Cayman is there. So, our Radio Cayman, a big shout out to you this afternoon. And last but not least, I want to say happy birthday to Miss Eileen, my sister, who's celebrating her birthday today. Though it be in lockdown, we're just hoping that she have a blessed day. And God bless the Cayman Islands, and may we all stay safe and do what we're supposed to do to get this thing going, and so we can all be free and get out of this lockdown. Yeah, that's about it.
Thank you for that too. And if you would allow us to join you in wishing Miss Elaine, your blessed birthday, Miss Paulette, our own Miss Paulette celebrates today. And this is the challenge, I think that we're not recognizing that people are celebrating birthdays and anniversaries, or graduations. There are all these good things that happen. There are sickness and there's funerals and there is, there are these other things too. And we need to, as you said, move beyond and realize that this isn't, what we come to, right?
Yes, and I also want to say a big condolences to Miss Esther's family, to Tanya and Tessa and Tommy and Anthony and a bunch of them. And I just ask God to comfort their hearts at this time. It's a difficult time, and I'm sure a lot of people would have loved to have been there to show their respect to Miss Esther, because she was a great, great, great woman in our community. And I just want to say a big condolences to them.
All right, well, thank you for remembering us, man. And stay positive and stay safe, all right?
Yeah, stay safe. Okay, Dwayne, have a good one. God bless. Bye-bye now.
Bye. Let's go to the phones again. Join the other caller. Good afternoon. Welcome. Thank you for calling.
Good afternoon, Dwayne.
How are you today? How are you, man?
I'm fine.
Good to hear from you.
Yeah, Dwayne, First, I know everybody is now talking about this coronavirus, but there is some important issue we ignore, and we have these problems from long time in this country, and we can't see a solution for it. And I know the government did a good job in this corona issue, and I thank them for what they are doing. But we see the gas prices.
Right. But before you go on, let's have a little fun with this, because it's you, and only if you feel like it. But why not? It's Friday. You said you know the government is doing a good job. Give us some examples from your mind that would show that, hey, yeah, man, they're doing a good job. Everybody's in prison. Nobody's out and about. Businesses are down. Tell me what you see doing a good job.
No, you see, as I will quote, from the Premier, Alden McLaughlin, the Honorable Premier, that life of people is more important than the economy.
Amen to that.
And I think I really respect the Honorable Premier for putting the life of the people more important than money, than anything else. And I think that's show that the Premier, for him, important the life of the people of this country. And that side I never know before, and I'm glad I know about it today. The issue of gas stations and gas, and those companies control the gas. Last night I was speaking to a friend of mine. He is as a brother to me, which I have great trust in him. He said he gone to the gas station, one gas station before, and he filled the gas tank. It cost him $70 to fill the gas tank. And he go to another gas station another time, and he filled the gas tank, the same amount, the same type of gas, and it cost him $36. The gas station I'm talking about is the one next to the airport, opposite than the post office, which he spent $36 and he filled the gas tank. So he saved $34 to his pocket. He could buy food, he could buy whatever in this money. I think that is example to give the government today that we need a competition in the gas issue. It is enough that those gas companies are robbing the people of this country. If imagine just filling a gas tank, the difference is $34 between the price of the gas station, the one by the airport, opposite than the post office, and other gas stations. So imagine if this gas station decided, which I encourage, today I call in the owner of that gas station to open one, like in Crewe Road or anywhere to the Eastern District, or to the most population, in the Savannah, Newlands, Eastern, North Side. That's the biggest population of the island. I encourage them to open another gas station so people can feel what is the save, how much money they can save every month just from gas. And the example is also go to food. If you go supermarket like Foster supermarket, you get a better prices than other supermarkets. So we need competition. The cost of living can go down if the government decided to make or allow other competition to open. I think competition is very important in this country, and we need now to put this coronavirus aside. I'm not saying don't give attention to the corona issue. I'm saying we need to start fix up other things in this society, such as cost of living. I think the premier doing a good job in this coronavirus. Government did a good job. The minister of health did a good job, even it's not his profession. But we need to see them doing a good job in this issue of the gas station. Even if the government give a loan to the owner of that gas station to open 2, 3 gas station, different location in the island, why not? As much that will impact the cost of living in this country, I think it's money well spent in the life and for the people of this country.
All right. Well, certainly always appreciate your perspective, man. And if you're lauding the government's actions, certainly they're on a good footing. All right, let's go to the other caller. Good afternoon and welcome. You're on Talk Today.
Hello.
Hi, good afternoon. How are you?
Hi, good afternoon, Dwayne. How you doing?
I'm always trying to do the best I can.
You're blessed. I
Hey,
like what. Listen, quickly, I just want, I hear people giving birthday shout out, so I just want to send one to for Miss Isla Connolly, former Chief Education Officer, I think first Chief Education Officer. She will be 97 tomorrow. So I think, that give her a shout out and wish that she can have, as many more as God will give her. And she's still doing pretty well. Pretty well. Yeah, she doesn't get out, but she's doing pretty well.
And I appreciate you remembering her especially, right? And thank you for that too. And all the best to you. Drive safe, be safe, be blessed. All right. And this is where the community, the power really came on in particular, because during this time, this whole month, and even last month, and who knows what next month will be like, people are not going to be able to celebrate their birthdays, whether they're turning 50 or they be close to 100. Whether it's an instance of people celebrating other things. But as the caller just reminded us, a stalwart like Mrs. Lynn Connolly, many of us would remember, going to school when the school hall was renamed in her honor. Many of us would appreciate equally the whole notion that, from some of our elderly people, we don't appreciate that more than ever now. We need to get out and be able to somehow get them to be able to get out and socialize, because as people, that's what we are. And it's a challenging time for sure. Now, I think it's an opportune time for us to remind you that the funeral service for the date Miss Esther, one of the other great women in our legislative assembly. She passed away on the 23rd of April, and the funeral service is tomorrow. Now, today we have a chance to pay our respects, and this in different times. There's a farewell drive through the district of West Bay, going through Northwest Point, around Boson Bay, into Courtyard, through Hell Road, along to the Town Hall, then to Stadium Drive, up Birch Tree Hill Road, up to Spanish Bay Road, through Captain Ridge and Parsons Drive, on Pleasant Road, then to Wood Farrington Drive, and then back to West Bay Road before coming back to Georgetown. So if you're out and about, as you see the procession going through, from your front doors and front porches and fences and the like, you can reach out and share your thoughts as well. 949-8037, 1-800-534-8255. We're going to pause quickly, and when we come back, we'll even be able to engage you in a much more way. Now, Miss Susan, do we take the break or can we take the callers? You tell me. Got to take the break. The boss is in charge. Never forget that. Stay tuned for Talk Today.
This Mother's Day, more than ever, Celebrations wants to deliver a special thank you to the other unsung hero, Mom. Delight your mom with a gorgeous, fresh floral arrangement, a special gift, gourmet or fruit and flower combination, all uniquely designed for her. With every order this Mother's Day, Celebrations will be donating $5 to Feed Our Future and helping to support families. Celebrations will be doing island-wide, safe, non-contact delivery of flowers and gifts from this Thursday, May 7th, until Sunday, May 10th. Call us on 623-2044 or place your order online at www.celebrationsgifts.com. Happy Mother's Day.
I love you.
Hi, I'm remodeling our bathroom. I have a few questions.
Sure.
What are some ideas to make my bathroom feel larger? How do I know if I'm picking the right vanity? How do I choose a new toilet or a new countertop? Also, the lighting is terrible. Can I put a window or a skylight? And do I really need an exhaust fan?
You've come to the right place. At Brand Source, we custom design kitchen and baths, and our talented design team can help answer your questions. Whether you're looking for a modern, functional family bathroom or a luxurious personal retreat, we'll help create that beautiful space that makes your home yours. And if you're in a rush for a new look and have a limited budget, our ready-to-install bathroom vanities, built with solid wood and countertops of the finest materials, are a quick and easy remodeling solution.
For the very best in custom-designed kitchens and baths, visit Brand Source Home Gallery on Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park, Cayman's Kitchen and Bath Center.
At Seaboard Marine, customers often ask us questions about their shipments.
Hi, I'm thinking of buying a car from the States. Which port do you ship out of?
Hi, we ship out of Miami, Houston, and Brooklyn. Just let us know your port of choice and we can provide you with a quotation and answer any questions you may have on insuring and protecting your vehicle during its journey.
Shipping shore to shore, Seaboard.
Hello, Cayman. I'm Quincy Brown. Anybody else getting mixed up with all these new coronavirus terms? Me too. But guess what? I've watched the press conferences and I've read the press releases and I've seen all the social media posts. Look here, I can help you out. Social distancing. Well, that means you're to keep a distance of 3 to 6 feet away from the person next to you. Or in layman's term, if you can see the color of the eye next to you, you're too close. Una got it now? If Una want to stay up to the time with what's going on, there's only one place for the real information, the Cayman Islands government. Visit gov.ky/coronavirus. Now remember, keep washing your hands, keep following the rules, and keep taking care of each other. Saving lives is Caymankind.
I've got some beautiful clothes. I know just where they go. Puritan Cleaners.
We are open. Visit Puritan Cleaners drive-through off Eastern Avenue, 8 a.m. till 3 p.m., Monday to Saturday. Our Elgin Avenue and Savannah locations will remain closed. However, your items can easily be transferred to Eastern Avenue. Just call us at 949-7104. That's 949-7104 with your request. Puritan Cleaners. You feel good when you look good.
Talk today. But I do have some questions. Talk today.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners participation program.
Talk today.
Because there are more questions than answers.
What the public is saying.
Waiting to take your calls right now. Sterling Dwayne Ebanks.
Hey, good afternoon and welcome back. Thank you for joining us. And going to go straight to the phones, but just a quick reminder before we do. There is an opportunity for those living in West Bay to show their thorough respects and love for Miss Esther as she moves through her district. And if you're out and about, at home, just come out to your yards, your front porches. The route through Northwest Point and Boast Bay into Goat Yard, through Hill Road, Town Hall Road, Stadium Drive, into Birch Tree Hill, then Spanish Bay Road, through Cap Ridge and Parsons Drive, Mount Pleasant Road, and onto Willow Farrington Drive, onto West Bay Road, and then back into town. Let's go to our phones, though. Good afternoon and welcome. Thank you for calling. How are you today? Good afternoon.
How are you, sir?
Very thankful. How about you?
Not too bad. Give God the glory and the thanks. I have a little concern, sir. I mean, all this time, these rich people making all of these money at these big companies. And we understand them take themselves and put their knowledge and their brain and take their money and stuff like that to make the community more stronger efficiently. But my little concern is now, the crisis will reach us now. I'm home. I'm home personally because it's 2 months now. And the little way, as a grandfather always says, that what you work is what you save. So I tried my best to have a little tie up, in one little corner. Now I get a light bill, sir. Honestly, if I never have good God in my heart and faith, I would have screamed out so hard you'd have probably hear me this morning. The light bill I get, sir, was $570 for just me and my wife alone live. I don't swim me burning, I don't swim me playing, I don't keep a party, I don't have no activity. One, the only little thing I do, I watch a little telly and listen to you. Mostly, I listen to you. Listen to OC and I listen to your radio station.
Thanks.
Just to hear my brain clicking for no, I'm not in the world alone.
Yeah, man.
And when I get that email yesterday, you trust me. I couldn't up and down or hear the proper meal yet. Now them all email back people per website now tell them say to plug out TV, plug out this, plug out. Now it's not summer. And if they're doing that to we now, you can imagine pardon?
So you can imagine what will happen. I must tell you that there are other people who have expressed similar concern, and I'm waiting to see what mine is, because they, in their advertising, they say, "Oh, I bought a home now, the bills will go up." Well, my usage and home use and people being in the house hasn't changed, So I wonder what if my bill goes up. What do you say the excuse could be? I sometimes you feel like you're caught between a rock and a hard place with that company.
I'm gonna tell her something sweet too, because when I work in, my bill was just like, I would have said 320, 325. It hardly for reaching for. I must me say, okay then babes, cover your family, we could do a little get together or something and burn a little extra. But I understand to say, we know the crisis were really happening now. There's a lot of way and stuff like that. But you don't have to pinch people so hard when in a these kind of crisis. No, let's take things to consideration and say, okay, I'm gonna squeeze on a little extra $10, a little extra $50, but one jump, $570. I like where I'm going, and I don't have a paycheck coming in, because when I get let go off of the job site up to now, I don't get my company don't ever call me and give me a glass of water. So it's a lucky thing. I commit myself with Christ, and the good words are where people always tell me, put down some things for the rainy days, not when the rain falls. It's with you when you're back against the wall, you can grudge somewhere and get something.
Yeah, man. Listen, I appreciate you sharing. I don't want to be, but you hold on to the faith as you shared, and maybe there's a resolution. Maybe there was an error in their calculation. Maybe it was just an oversight of some sort. So I'm sure they'll get a resolve. We'll talk to you some more.
Have a blessed day. And
God bless.
Okay.
Amen to you. And let's go to our next caller. Hopefully, it's what we think. Good afternoon and welcome.
Hello.
Hey, good afternoon, sir. Honorable Speaker of the House, Honorable W. McKeever Bush. Is that a famous voice that we're hearing, sir?
Yes. Just calling you from the procession.
Yes, sir.
We're finalizing the final leg of the procession, going up to the Farrington Drive and on to Georgetown, where it will be dispersing from here on. But it was very, very orderly, and there were people who along the way came out and different areas, and there were pockets of support for Esther, of course, over the district. And those days, as you would know, Dwayne, they voted for 3 people, and so the whole district voted for 3 people, and so there were pockets of support all along. People came out and paid their respects. But the morning went very orderly, and I want to thank our protocol department for organizing, and I want to thank the police who did an extremely good job. I think the family is very satisfied of the operation and the ceremony, laying in state ceremony this morning.
Yes, sir. And I think
officiating was myself as speaker, and then the deputy speaker was there, and of course the sergeant at arms, deputy sergeant, and the clerk there in the ceremony. Very orderly, I think. Family is satisfied. Graham, tell him, They're going.
Yeah. And I think, as we listen to you, recognizing that our political leaders, in the sense, someone of the stature of Miss Esther, being one of the early women in our legislative assembly, it's important that we remember that to serve as inspiration, but we also show deference to her and to the family and to the office as well. So for you to be instrumental in this as speaker, it bodes well, does it not?
Yeah, well, this is what the House do, This is part of the work of the Speaker, is to organize with protocol any laying in state of any former member that passes away, no matter how long they served.
Yeah, and it's especially now with the way we conduct funerals in particular. And I think some people who may not necessarily have been in the Cayman for any more than a couple of minutes, anybody else would realize that we have a particular healthy respect, for our graveyards, for the way funerals are conducted. We heard yesterday, or was it? I think one day, it seems like a year now, where the way we paint our vaults, we prepare just so that when the person is interred, we do it with the greatest of respect. The whole thing is as clean and as neat and tidy and as respectful as possible. So there is that, that reminds us. So this way, people can, as you said, come out and show their family support and love, for those who bereaved.
By and large, regardless of what, and I saw that all along the way, regardless of what side you fell on politically, people came out, and I know people. Thank God, still know a lot of people in West Bay. A lot of people have grown up since that, passed away since that. And a lot of older people since this time in the House are not able to come out by the roadside because they're that old now. But people put aside politics and these kind of things and show deference and support and respect, and that's the way we are as a community, and we must exist as a community. There's no put on and no show for show. This is a matter of respect to the fact that she was a member of the House, that she was, as I said, I was appreciative of the times that she supported me. There were times she didn't support me, but I was very appreciative of the time because she was an articulate speaker and a very formidable opponent. But for all of that, Esther had a good heart, and I say this in closing. She had a good heart. She went for the underdog, and whenever she thought was wrong, whether you supported her or not, if she thought something wrong, she would stand up, and that was something that I appreciated her about. She appreciated her for. Me and her, I said at one point she was an opponent of myself, and then myself and Dee Dee Dalmeen, her husband, we ran together in '92. We swept the slate, and so I've had close contact over the years. I was actually the organist for her wedding, and Miss Pat sang what was a favorite song of hers, and Dee Dee's "Walk Through This World with Me." So I had a good relationship these last many years, and in fact, to the extent that she requested that I sing at her funerals, whenever that was, and that's not lately. She heard me sing one song at two different funerals, same song, and she said, "I want you to sing that song for me when I at my funeral." And so the children have acceded to that request and asked me to do the solo there at her funeral tomorrow.
All right. Well, Mr. Bush, I think this is where you reminded us now of the respect, as you said, we have for those who pass and for their families. And here's a way that we can continue even in this time, continue to remember that we're all God's people, and hopefully together through prayer we'll emerge a much more unified country, much more willing to hold each other accountable as we accept our areas of responsibility. So thank you very much, sir, for everything.
Thank you, Doreen, for being a part of this procession in this via this avenue and through this avenue that you came on. So thank you very much, and I certainly again want to go on record of thanking the Cayman Island Police Service for the good job they've done this morning, for allowing the procession, and of course the people of West Bay who came out and showed their respect, regardless of what political side they were on. These people came out.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And
thank you.
It showed this is what Cayman is about. Politics,
it is, man.
Politics must not interfere with everything.
No. And as you shared,
no matter you say they're being held accountable, no matter how you feel about a matter, fact is, politics cannot play a role in everything.
Yes, sir.
Must be put aside at times.
And this is, show our respect to her and her family. Thank you, sir. It shows what we can do even in times like this if we put our minds to it. Blessings to you, sir. All right. And again, Honorable W. Akiva Bush. And we'll pause now, take a short break, and when we come back, we'll talk today.
Today's biggest news.
Radio Cayman.
It's only 2 species that we have here on the island.
Generations present.
Your voice, your choice.
For today's biggest news. Access. Information.
Local, regional, international. This is headlines from Radio Cayman's newsroom team.
Today's biggest news.
The cruise port and airport are currently set to reopen on September 1st based on a recently passed cabinet paper, although there's no guarantee that the ports will open to cruise ships in the third or fourth quarter. Government is putting together a medium to long-term plan for tourism. A COVID-19 spawned package of incentives will be put together, as well as educational programs to improve skill sets to ensure Caymanians can take advantage of new opportunities when they become available. Theaters, museums, cinemas, and outdoor zoos in Denmark will be allowed to open from June 8th. The restrictions on gatherings, which currently capped at 10, will be extended to 30 to 50 people depending on the event. In Greece, ancient sites such as the Acropolis, Delphi, and ancient Olympia will be allowed to open May 18th. Tourism is a vital part of that country's economy. And the job losses in the month of April alone far exceeded those from the 2008-2009 financial crisis, when the unemployment rate peaked at 10% in the United States. 2 months ago, the monthly unemployment rate in the U.S. was 3.5%, a 50-year low. With alarming speed, the world's largest economy is now reporting the worst unemployment figure since the Great Depression of the 1990s. Those are your headlines. I'm Karsley Fuller.
Stay in touch with Radio Cayman for the latest in news and information.
Follow Radio Cayman on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Download the Radio Cayman app or log on to our website, www.radiocayman.gov.ky.
Radio Cayman, your voice, your choice, your radio.
Social distancing is crucial for our community to get back to normal. And never before has communication been so crucial. Keeping in touch with family, friends, and up to date requires you to stay in touch. Green Turtle offers the solution for both. Download the Green Turtle app now. Top up yours or a loved one's phone with any mobile carrier in any destination in Cayman. Phones delivered to your home, and with the new rewards program, you can even redeem points towards a new phone and other products. Download the Green Turtle app today. Green Turtle is not only the future of mobile, but today it can help save a life. Hashtag Stay Home Cayman. Take a ride on the Green Turtle Express today. Download the Green Turtle app. The future of mobile, saving lives today.
It's time to stay steady in the summer and be ready for the fall. Summer 2020 classes begin on May 11th, and there has never been a more opportune time for you to invest in your future with online classes at UCCI. Do your part to keep our island safe and stay home Cayman while furthering your educational goals. Continue or start your success story today by visiting ucci.edu.ky/myucci to find out more about the enrollment process. Call 623-8224 or email info@ucci.edu.ky to learn more.
Grapetree Cafe is happy to announce that they will be reopening on Thursday, May 7th for takeout only. Your delicious fish will be available for takeout from Thursday to Saturday, 10:30 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. Call or WhatsApp to place your order 324-5860. That's 324-5860. The management and staff of Grapetree Cafe in Bordentown would like to encourage everyone to practice social distancing and to stay home and stay safe.
This Mother's Day, more than ever, Celebrations wants to deliver a special thank you to the other unsung hero, Mom. Delight your mom with a gorgeous, fresh floral arrangement, a special gift, gourmet or fruit and flower combination, all uniquely designed for her. With every order this Mother's Day, Celebrations will be donating $5 to Feed Our Future and helping to support families. Celebrations will be doing island-wide, safe, non-contact delivery of flowers and gifts from this Thursday, May 7th
until Sunday, May 10th.
Call us on 623-2044 or place your order online at www.celebrationsgifts.com. Happy Mother's Day.
I love you. Obey the laws and wear the gauze. Protect your jaws from septic paws. Stay clean, Cayman, with hand sanitizer from $3.25, 10 surgical masks for $9.99, and 2 packs of KN95 masks for $6.99. Wholesale pricing available at all 5 Liquor for Less locations: Shedden Road, North Church Street, Savannah, Northside, and the McClendon Drive Airport location. Don't miss the incredible lockdown price markdown and manager specials exclusively at Liquor for Less. Hundreds of fine, starting from cases of ice cold below wholesale prices, and save $9 off liters. Prices so low we can't say it on the radio. Liquor for Less enforces the wearing of masks and social distancing while in store and encourage other preventative measures to help stop the spread of COVID-19, such as consistent hand washing and only leaving home for essential purposes. Has being quarantined at home have you looking at your living space differently? Well, Tomlinson Furniture is now offering free island-wide deliveries and phone consultations to help you design a comfortable living space. For inspiration and ideas, browse the Tomlinson Furniture and Mattress Gallery Facebook page, Tomlinson Furniture Cayman on Instagram, or website at tomlinsonfurniture.ky. Open from 9:30 a.m. for phone consultations and orders. Call 949-5383. Tomlinson Furniture and the Mattress Gallery. Free delivery island-wide.
Talk today. But I do have some questions. Talk today.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners' participation program.
Talk today.
Because there are more questions than answers.
What the public is saying.
Waiting to take your calls right now. Sterling Dwayne Ebanks.
Hey, good afternoon and welcome back. Thank you for joining us as we invite you to be a part of our discussion today. Sometimes you just got to dig deep, deep, just to find what it takes to be reminded of what goes around. But if you are indeed, mindful of all of that, we can look quickly and see that sometimes it's not very hard just to be gracious and thankful, just even for being allowed to see another day. 949-825. Was it 949-837 or 1-800-534-8255? Now, let's go to our phones and join our caller, the wonderful company of Mr. Loxley Banks. Good afternoon, sir.
Well, good afternoon, Dwayne, and lots to celebrate. A lot of birthdays and everything, and I guess a lot to be thankful for all across the island. And I think coming up, I guess, in 15 to 20 minutes, you got the special segment for frontline workers. And before we get to that, I'd just like to say that all of the frontline workers that I've come in contact with over the last 6 or 8 weeks have been magnificent in the delivery of the services that they're doing. But with all the celebrations, there's another celebration, I think, is going on all around the world today, which Cayman, I think, also has to have some remembrance of it. And that is the 75th anniversary of the end of the war in Europe, World War in Europe.
1945, huh? 1945?
45, yeah. But even though that the war ended in Europe at that time, as Winston Churchill put it at the time, the war, if I can just paraphrase him a little bit, the war in Europe has ended, but Japan still remains unsubdued, and he went on, he had some other narrative about it, which is very historic. But, just looking back, there were about, I think, 250 Cayman men involved in the Trinidadian Navy, which was in great support of that war in Europe. And, well, the whole issue of the war with Europe and Japan, World War II. But and there was quite a number of other Caymanians who were involved on the U.S. side, and one of them whose name was Andrew Henning, who landed in Normandy on D-Day with the 161st Division, U.S. Army Division, and fought his way. The division fought its way all across Europe, from France, Belgium, Denmark, Holland, and finally into Berlin on, I guess it was 75 years, just about this day that they arrived in there. And so we should just remember the sacrifice that those guys made. And he was not the only one on the U.S. side. There were probably, I'd say, another 15 to 20 that was in close battle, and hand-to-hand battle. Of course, there was many Caymanians were sailing the Atlantic Ocean, the Pacific Ocean back in those days. That was, doing their part to support the defeat of the Third Reich, the Nazis, and so I think we should remember them even with all the times that we're going through. And it's there is still some of us, I guess, that remembers that day that the word came around that Hitler was dead, which meant the end of the war, the war in Europe.
And this is something that I really appreciate you taking time, sir. Not just as a veteran, but a commentator on history, a participant in history, but for reminding us, especially now. And this isn't meant, to be anything other than an attempt for us to be reminded that the ultimate sacrifice by so many, some of whom are in our families, so that we could enjoy the freedoms that we enjoy today. And a number of academics have been sending sort of little things that I've had a chance to read. And when we talk about liberties being abridged and freedoms being impinged and the like, perhaps today is that mindful day that we need to be careful, whether it's here or elsewhere, that we don't lose sight of giving up our freedoms under the guise of something, and then next thing you know, look at Hungary in Europe today, part of the EU, but is it as free as one would think if it's a part of that process that would champion democracy, as it were?
Well, yeah, I think it's a great occasion, and main occasion to really, celebrate, or maybe better word to use would be to remember. The sacrifices that they made. Just mentioning Andrew Henning. Now, for about, I guess it was about 9-10 months, if you can imagine. And probably he probably walked 60 to 70, maybe 80% of that journey from the beaches of Normandy
all through France, up Belgium, and Denmark, Holland, and I guess maybe some other small principalities or municipalities along the way. And going to Berlin on the day of liberation, or the ending of World War II in Europe, and to think, I don't think that a lot of those people who come to live among us realize that, that there's been these kind of people in the Cayman community over the years, many years. I mean, and even on the Pacific side, there was quite a number of Caymanians who were out there. One of the probably first Cayman, you could want to call qualified deep sea divers.
Yep.
And he was another Henning. Denton Henning was a frogman, a U.S. Navy frogman during World War II, and he would go in and clear channels through reefs, blowing up reefs, so that the landing crafts could get in safely. And in fact, he grew up right down there, right across from the little dock in West Bay, right across the street. And they say that he knew every squab hole between Northwest Point and Southwest Point.
But see, this is why sometimes, and I'll apologize only to the extent if it may offend some ears, right? But when I listen to people like you, Captain Dale and others, and Mr. Captain Paul and others, and I'm reminded of our history, I'm reminded of the service and the sacrifice, but also, that sort of constitution that is ingrained within us, right? And you're talking to us today, but we also need to be reminded, as you shared before, that some of our own people were captured and were taken as prisoners of war. German concentration camps, I believe.
I believe it was 5 or 6, or maybe might even more. All together, there was Mr. Lee Smith, I think, Hubert Bush, and Leighton Evans, and there was I think 2 or 3 from Cayman Brack, and also there was I think in all there were probably about a half a dozen, or maybe more, Caymanian prisoners of war in Germany, and also there was one in Japan. He was a Japanese prisoner of war, and after the war he lived in England most of the time, but he did come back to Cayman. I guess was probably in the early 80s, and I had the pleasure of talking with him, in fact interviewing him on the air, and I believe that the recording should be somewhere in Radio Cayman's Wattle Archive.
And, treasure trove. Huh?
Well, it would probably be on VCR or something. So it's a thing of trying to get it digitalized. But and stories that he told, So it's but I think it's a opportune time to have remembrance of the sacrifices that Caymanians made to obtain and maintain the freedoms that we enjoy here today, along with all the various other people in the world who love freedom and democracy.
Yeah. And this is, as you share with us, I say this with great deference to our own people. Men of our own are not as, conscious, not as aware, and certainly not in a position to repeat with any degree of confidence and accuracy some of our history, in particular, the war effort, even going back from what some of our research is showing, even the American Civil War.
Yes, and it's hopefully that somewhere along the line, the Education Department will get a world history or Caymanian history, or whatever you want to call it, curriculum or element in the curriculum that would enlighten those that come along about this, the Caymanian history.
Yeah. Well, I think too that in partnership with our educational authorities, public and private sector entities, I think us as individuals, can continue to contribute. I mean, what you've been sharing is invaluable. But for some of us, it's like I keep sharing deliberately that we can't take our freedoms for granted, and not just in the last couple of weeks, but every time you and the other veterans will come on and tell us about a popular appeal or remind us about significant events in world history. For me, your freedom to move, maybe people will appreciate that now and value the time that we have, but also get engaged to ensure that when we move about, we do so civilly, respectfully, that we don't allow, whether by default or direct, some sort of dictate that people, because they don a uniform or they have a certain label ascribed to their names, that they can act with impunity, irrespective of the public or private sector, or in Cayman or some other industrialized nation. Freedoms have to be championed and preserved.
Just jumping back a little bit, that other name, the prisoner of war, that kind of slipped me out while I was naming a little while ago, was Mr. Eddie Farrington.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that, but I.
And his ID, I guess you could call it ID card or ID plaque, was just discovered here some years back, and I think it's in the family's possession now. It was a leather ID, however you want to call it, that he wore, I guess, during that prisoner of war in Germany.
He'll be Mr. Billy's, Mr. Evans' brother.
How was that?
Yeah, his connection to Ray Banker was true. Is it his uncle? Mr. Billy, Mr. Ray.
I think so. Yeah, he was Ivan the Devil's father.
Yeah. Oh, Mr. Loxley, I can ask Miss Susan to crave the indulgence. We have some callers join us. Maybe it's about this particular conversation that you stirred. If it is, see if we can cue that person in, and then if it is, you can weigh in. Let's see how we can do it. Would you stay online, and then let's use technology and engage as many people as possible? Would that be fine? All right. Miss Susan's the boss.
I'll hang on for a bit.
If you want, yeah, man, let's do that. Hey, good afternoon. Welcome. Thank you for calling.
Good afternoon.
Afternoon, sir. How are you?
I am doing well. Hope you all are doing well, too. Yes, I was listening to Mr. Loxley there, and I am 100% in agreement in regards to doing something in regards to the history, because what I notice is that as I go around and I see on school sports days and all that kind of thing, and the music and all that I'm hearing, it's all a part of another culture. And then the history in Cayman, I mean, we got history about schools, you got history about wars, you got history, so much history. And the children, I don't think, is getting what they need to know from history, because we got to remember that we're all getting older, and as I see it, it seems like it's the culture of Cayman Islands is fast dwindling. It's becoming more an international scene, and I think we need to protect our island better than that. We need to actually have. I noticed that each country has their patriotic and patriotism about their countries, about their flags, about everything else, and our schools and everything, and the colors of our school, the colors of our environment. What about hoisting up our flags in the morning with our children, acknowledging it and singing the national song and all this kind of stuff.
All these things are part of our culture, and I don't see that. I live not too far away from a school, and I don't see too much of that going on. But like I said, I'm not a parent that has into the Teachers Association or anything like that with Parent Teachers Association meetings and so on. I'm not there, but I agree that we need to do something to enhance our history much more than we do, because we're becoming we're becoming pretty much outnumbered to our specific what we call all Caymanian families. So I don't want to be prejudiced against any nationality. God knows that. But we need to we had something here, and we need to actually hold it there. And anyone coming along, if government would invest money towards getting all this information and have these histories properly formulated, that the economy that would generate from tourists and visitors coming to the island, wants to know about the Cayman Islands and a lot more, they would buy those books, and they would buy our flag, buy our everything that that is Caymanian. And so we need to, even when these things are happening, and it shows and everything, we need to actually have things that are generated by Caymanians, for Caymanians, and produce our Cayman culture.
Yes, sir. Well, certainly it's good, and with great respect to that, let's just see what other caller has to share as we try to get them all in. Good afternoon. Thank you for calling.
Well, that caller had some good points.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And Miss Susan shares with us another caller, so you know how this thing works, Mr. B. I want to delve into that more, but can we connect up to the other caller, Miss Susan? Good afternoon.
Good afternoon,
sir.
Sterling, good afternoon to Mr. Loxley, and wonderful of him to brought us to mind about the 75th anniversary, ending of the European theatre. And it's a great pity that it's not taught in the schools anymore about the Second World War, which changed the course of history just those 75 years ago forever. And established the United States fully, of course, then as the dominant power, economically and militarily. Yes, there was several Caymanians involved in it, and then again with the British, it was Mr. Cavill Glidden, who was in the British Army in desert part of it, the Desert War, so to speak, against the famous German general Erwin Rommel and his foray into Africa, and the great General Patton was there. But also with the Japanese state of it, the former governor, Mr. Long was a prisoner of war with the Japanese, and he often told me a lot about that. The 2 years he spent as a prisoner of war with the Japanese in the Second World War, actually building that famous bridge over the River Kwai. He was involved in that. It was made into a very famous, if not one of the best movies of all time. I'd like, if I may, to read you one of Mr. Churchill's. His first speech was actually before the Parliament when he became Prime Minister. It's a very important thing. It begins, and he concluded it really with these famous words. I won't be the beginning. When he said, "We have before us an ordeal of the most grievous kind." Are you hearing me, Sterling?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
We have before us many, many long months of struggle and of suffering. You ask, what is our policy? I can say it is to wage war by sea, land, and air with all our might and with all the strength that God can give us, to wage war against a monstrous tyranny never surpassed in the dark, lamentable catalogue of human crime. That is our policy. You ask, what is our aim? I can answer it in one word. It is victory. Victory at all costs. Victory in spite of all terror. victory, however long and hard the road may be. For without victory, there is no survival. Let that be realized. No survival for the British Empire, no survival for all that the British Empire has stood for. No survival for the urge and impulse of the ages that mankind will move forward towards its goal. Its goal. And that can help us through these times also, because when we think about the COVID, it is a kind of war. And of course, we know we have to stay inside and all that now and stay locked down, but we will not have victory until we really get back outside and start to fight this thing. And continue with it. And I'm convinced that every man of you would rise up and tear me down from my place if I for one moment to contemplate parley or surrender. If this Long Island story of ours to end at last, let it end only when each one of us lies choking in his own blood upon the ground. Just talking about England, of course, but we are an island too. And that should be our purpose now. Victory at all costs.
Well, I appreciate that, Sherry. Now, Mr. Loxley, before us, and I always defer to you, sir. So if you want to comment on the caller before's sentiments, I invite you to stay. If you have to go, I fully understand. I pray, sir, what is best for you. Want to hang on?
Mr. Holston got made some valid points, and the ironic thing about that the war in Europe, World War II, is that Churchill led the British Commonwealth and most of the world to victory through all of those treacherous times that he started to warn about, and he was warning the world about them for probably 15, 20, 30 years before that. Mm-hmm. But the British people turned him out of office merely 6-8 weeks, I think, after the end of World War, after the end of the war in Europe. And on the night that the election was held and he lost the election, I think the next day he made a statement saying that the British people had deprived him of the opportunity to shape a better world.
Yeah, maybe always the hand behind the scenes that we never see. Mr. Loxley, I try to trust deference to Susan and take that scheduled break. Sometimes conversations get interrupted because of commercialism. But thanks very much, sir. And thanks for reminding us.
Have a good day.
God bless, sir. Yeah. God bless. We'll pause, and when we come back, we'll talk today.
Home, which should be a haven, can even be less of a safe space during curfew if someone is experiencing child abuse. If you or anyone you know is being abused, help is nearby. For emergencies, call 911. They will redirect your call to the relevant agencies. For general guidelines and inquiries, call the Multi-Agency Safeguarding Hub, MASH, at 1-800-534-2273 or 945-0545. Alternatively, email mash@gov.ky. Home, which should be a haven, can even be less of a safe space during curfew if someone is experiencing child abuse. If you or anyone you know is being abused, help is nearby. For emergencies, call 911. They will redirect your call to the relevant agencies. For general guidelines and inquiries, call the Multi-Agency Safeguarding Hub, MASH, at 1-800-534-2273 or 945-0545. Alternatively, email mash@gov.ky.
Start getting your debt under control control with a debt consolidation loan from Fidelity Bank. At Fidelity, your loan decision is quick with no runaround. Plus, with competitive interest rates and fees, we will help you reduce your monthly payments and get you back to living again. Don't let the burden of overwhelming debt tie you down this year. Call Fidelity today and let's make it happen with a Fidelity Bank debt consolidation loan. Fidelity, we're good for you.
During these challenging times, it can be easy to lose sight of all that we have to be grateful for. As the world grapples with the effects of COVID-19, at the forefront of the fight are the many frontline workers diligently ensuring the continuity of our islands. From the police service, members of the National Emergency Operations Center, healthcare workers, the DEH, grocery and pharmacy attendants, and so many more. Along with the daily conch call at 6:59 p.m., Radio Cayman invites the community to call in to talk today, every Friday, for Frontline Fridays. Share your stories and experiences and let us as a community start the gratitude trend to the many people putting their lives on the front line. Whether you have a family member on the front line and wish to give them a shout out, or if you have a personal experience of Cayman kindness, we want to hear from you. Frontline Fridays, every Friday on Talk Today.
Hello, Cayman. I'm Quincy Brown. Anybody else getting mixed up with all these new coronavirus terms? Me too. But guess what? I've watched the press conferences and I've read the press releases and I've seen all the social media posts. Look here, I can help you out. Essential staff, police officers, immigration, customs, doctors, nurses, first responders, they are essential staff. So if you got to ask, then you ain't. Una got it now? If Una want to stay up to the time with what's going on, there's only one place for the real information, the Cayman Islands government. Visit gov.ky/coronavirus. Now remember, keep washing your hands, keep following the rules, and keep taking care of each other. Saving lives is Cayman kind.
Grapetree Cafe is happy to announce that they will be reopening on Thursday, May 7th for takeout only. Your delicious fish will be available for takeout from Thursday to Saturday, 10:30 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. Call or WhatsApp to place your order 324-5860. That's 324-5860. The management and staff of Grapetree Cafe in Bordentown would like to encourage everyone to practice social distancing and to stay home and stay safe.
International Lighting, S Plaza, North Songway, is now open for delivery Monday to Saturday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. In addition to light fixtures, ceiling fans, rugs, sheet sets, and household items, International Lighting now has a selection of masks, alcohol, and gloves for sale. For delivery, please call 945-7121, 916-8211, 916-3553, or 949-5141.
It's time to stay steady in the summer and be ready for the fall. Summer 2020 classes begin on May 11th, and there has never been a more opportune time for you to invest in your future with online classes at UCCI. Do your part to keep our island safe and stay home Cayman while furthering your educational goals. Continue or start your success story today by visiting ucci.edu.ky/myucci to find out more about the enrollment process. Call 623-8224 or email info@ucci.edu.ky to learn more.
Join us every evening at 6:59 p.m. for the Time Check Salute in Cayman kind style
with the blowing of the conch shell.
As the Cayman Islands community extends their appreciation to all of the frontline staff who are working to keep our islands safe and functioning during these challenging times.
Talk today. But I do have some questions. Talk today.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners participation program.
Talk today.
Because there are more questions than answers.
What the public is saying.
Waiting to take your calls right now. Sterling Dwayne Ebanks.
And good afternoon. Welcome back. Thanks for joining us. I believe the press briefing is going to take place at 2 p.m. So we're going to hit that when it happens. But let's go to the phones. Good afternoon. Thank you for calling.
Good afternoon, Wayne.
Good afternoon. How are you today?
Mr. Edmund here on the brat.
Oh, Mr. Hillman. Good to hear from you.
I tell you. Anyhow, I was very impressed with what was there. I kind of slide by to tell Loxley about Floyd Bush's father. I think him and Ed Lowell and them was into that same thing when they came from the war and when the war was ended. And E-Banks, what was his name again? Ivan E-Banks? No, I think Loxley called his name there anyway. And, you know, being probably only about maybe 8 years old or maybe 10 years old at the time, I remember that quite frequent. But I was also wanted to just, the frontline staff there, they have something going on for today. Wanted to bring some of them, you know, like Alden. I believe with all of my heart that Alden is, the premier actually, is doing the thing very, very sensible of what I can hear from the rest of the world, taking Japan and the other one that made such a blunder with what happened there. I think he's on the right track. And one of the things that I want him to know that we here on the Black Men Wife, we lift them up in prayer every morning, which we are supposed to be doing for the leaders of the world, because Solomon said if our leaders who is in charge would humble themselves and pray, they would have a wonderful life and would have something to give to their island, to their government or whatever they're doing. So that's what we've been doing over the last, I would say for the last maybe 4 or 5 weeks, whatever time in. And I'm very grateful to know that it's going on right so far. A lot of things now, not everybody can enjoy it or say it's good, but I think the way that they're doing it is one of the best ways I ever heard that you can do. You can get it across to people what to do. It's like Quincy Brown say, stay home and just go when you need to, and you know, do the other thing. So. You know, I'm grateful to know that I can be able to call and talk to you guys and Dwayne and your family. And just give the front line there doing a wonderful job as far as I can hear over the radio and the TV. So I'm just grateful for that.
Yeah, thank God for you and people like you, and for the prayers that you remind us that as a nation we should pray for leadership, that they have, you know, wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, and they lead in a way with humility and integrity. So thanks for those prayers. You know, we'll get there, sir. God bless you. All right. Appreciate that sentiment. And we have another caller. Welcome. Thank you for calling.
Hello?
All right. Yes, good afternoon. How are you?
Good afternoon, young Sterling. How are you?
Hey, the man who forms part of the kitchen cabinet, I'm told.
Yeah, that was a good one. I remember that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Well, you know, but so all the other people that are listening can know, this is Dennis from Tibbetts. And I wanted to call on behalf of myself and the members of the Seafarers Association. They're all senior citizens. I just wanted to say a big thank you. God's blessings on all of the front line workers, the nurses, the doctors, the pharmacists, the police, even the garbage collector. They came this morning and took my garbage. So
thank God for them. Thank God for them, you know.
Thank God for them, and they're all in my prayers. And
yes, sir.
The premier is, I agree with most of the stuff that he's doing, and the others that's on the panel there. But it's I just want to express a big thank you to all of the front line workers and the government themselves on behalf of myself and the Seafarers Association members.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
And as I listen to you, thank you, sir. As I listen to you, though, I'm mindful to ask. We are, especially in Cayman, and I don't wish to speak to any other part of the world because this is where we are now living and laying our heads, as it were. Maybe this time there'll be many things that will happen, but one is that we have increasing recognition and respect for each other. And I said this from time I can remember how to talk. I don't like labels. I don't like to describe things. People like that because they put things in boxes and they can easy to identify and understand. Perhaps it makes sense for them. But for some reason, some of us, hopefully not many, but some of us used to have this contempt for people because of the jobs they did, maybe the clothes they wore, the districts they were from, their last name, their color, maybe how they smelled. I don't know. We seem to be have this prejudice, this disrespect. Maybe now we will realize that every single person has value. Now the notion of calling people frontline, it's like you're in war and you're sending people to be the first to be sacrificed. Maybe, like that, like essential. We need to come back to realize that we're all human. Right, and there's
I certainly don't want to refer to them frontliners.
Yes, sir.
To be the first to go down, because I don't wish that on anybody.
No.
I understand you. I was having a conversation with my only sister in the back and one of my brothers here last night, and we were reminiscing about how we were brought up on the things that our parents taught us, and we said. Well, she said it, and then we echoed it. We have to be so grateful that God has allowed all of my parents' children, me and my siblings, to reach the age that we have reached, because, I don't have no animosity against people that I want to hurt people and all that. And the stigma that people put on, as you were saying, the stigma that some people put on, let's say, garbage collectors and all that. No, I treat everybody as one. I mean, whether you're black, pink, white, Chinese, or whatever.
Even West Bears, right?
Even West Bears.
Yes, sir. No, you're right, man. Gotta make you smile, yeah.
I know. But yeah, all the frontline workers, including the premier and his team, they're doing a good job. A lot of people don't agree with it. What is hard for me sometimes to understand is when I hear the chief of police there talking about how many people were arrested for breaking the curfew. I mean, what is wrong with people? Sometimes that's beyond me to understand, because it's like, I don't know. Maybe I don't want to understand it, because to me it's stupid. If you want to stay home, I mean, if you're told to stay home, you stay home. If you're told to wear a mask, you wear a mask. I mean, it's simple as that. What are you doing to rebel against that? You're only hurting yourself and probably other people.
Yes, sir.
But you guys are doing a good job, and I like listening to you guys, as you know. So you all take care. God bless you all, and I'm praying for everyone.
Amen. Well, thank you, sir, and to you and yours, blessings and safety as well. We'll talk to you very soon. And pause quickly and take another break. When we come back, more Talk Today.
Social distancing is crucial for our community to get back to normal. And never before has communication been so crucial. Keeping in touch with family, friends, and up-to-date requires you to stay in touch. Green Turtle offers the solution for both. Download the Green Turtle app now. Top up yours or a loved one's phone with any mobile carrier in any destination in Cayman. Phones delivered to your home, and with the new rewards program, you can even redeem points towards a new phone and other products. Download the Green Turtle app today. Green Turtle is not only the future of mobile, but today it can help save a life. Hashtag Stay Home Cayman. Take a ride on the Green Turtle Express today. Download the Green Turtle app. The future of mobile, saving lives today.
For nearly 20 years, Kingsport Center has been the heart of the Cayman fitness and wellness community. In order to ensure the welfare of all, we are temporarily closed until further notified by the Cayman Islands government that it is safe to reopen. During these trying times, we encourage everyone to maintain a healthy lifestyle, mind, body, and soul. We look forward to continuing providing you with world-class service in the very near future. Remain strong and continue to show the world the power of Cayman unity. Kingsport Center, your one-stop shop for fitness, recreation, and relaxation.
You may be home isolating, but your taste buds can explore the world. Dragon Inn Restaurant in Countryside Plaza, offering savory dishes in traditional, authentic, American, Szechuan, Mandarin, Filipino cuisine, and Cantonese style, made fresh daily. Family dinner specials, rich in taste with no MSG. Choose from stir fry, chop suey, chow mein, sweet and sour, and so much more. Call 947-1166. Pick up Monday to Saturday from 10:30 a.m. until 7 p.m. Delivery 7 days per week until 9 p.m. Dragon Inn Restaurant and Countryside Plaza. Daily lunch specials and combinations, bringing international deliciousness to your doorstep. Call 947-1166 to place your order.
Hey, what's up, my people? Jeremy Anderson here. Check this out. Something very special is about to happen for Cayman Islands. The Ebenezer SGA Church is partnering with the Salt Light City Ministries, and they're partnering with the Cayman Academy PTA to bring you all nightly motivational messages. These messages are specifically and we're targeting youth and young adults, millennials. Listen to me, y'all. Myself, Jillian Monet, we got a special word that's going to shift your life and take you to the next level in the midst of this crisis. So we need you to lock in with us and spread the word. May 3rd through 8th at 7:15 Central Standard Time. Lock in with us from your smartphone or from your computer at your home. And then May 9th at 4 p.m. Central Standard Time. This is going to be special, and we got a special word for you that's going to show you how to take your life to the next level. So spread the word and join us May 3rd through 9th right here online, and we're going to go to the next level with you. Let's get it.
This Mother's Day, more than ever, Celebrations wants to deliver a special thank you to the other unsung hero, Mom. Delight your mom with a gorgeous, fresh floral arrangement, a special gift, gourmet or fruit and flower combination, all uniquely designed for her. With every order this Mother's Day, Celebrations will be donating $5 to Feed Our Future and helping to support families. Celebrations will be doing island-wide, safe, non-contact delivery of flowers and gifts from this Thursday, May 7th until Sunday, May 10th. Call us on 623-2044 or place your order online at www.celebrationsgifts.com. Happy Mother's Day.
I love you. Talk today. But I do have some questions. Talk today.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners' participation program.
Talk today.
Because there are more questions than answers.
What the public is saying.
Waiting to take your calls right now. Sterling Dwayne Ebanks.
Hey, good afternoon and welcome back. Thanks so much for joining us. Now, thanks to Susan, we were able to leverage the technology and continue to do this thing physically distant, but just around the corner. Do we still have a caller in the queue before we hit the... All right, so we go to the callers as well? Is that what we're doing with Susan? All right, welcome, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, how are you?
Not too bad, you're very thankful. How about yourself?
Same way. Good, very thankful, coping. I just want to give a shout out this afternoon to two police frontline workers, Patricia Stevick and Elizabeth McIntosh. They're both carrying out their duties with utmost respect and kindness, and I really appreciate that. I'm sure there are lots of others as well, but those are the two that I want to recognize this afternoon.
Thank you. And this shows that you can be like a parent, act with authority, but still be civil and respectful. You can command respect like a teacher, but still be a sense of humility and graciousness. So thank you for highlighting those two officers,
Of course, and thank you for allowing us to do this. God bless.
God bless. And this is it, man. We'll get this. So let's hear some more sentiments expressed on our WhatsApp.
Hi, everybody. This is Rob Imperato, Chairman of the Board of Meals on Wheels Cayman Islands. I hope everybody's staying safe and healthy during these difficult times. I want to thank everybody who has helped Meals on Wheels fulfill our mission of feeding seniors throughout this crisis. From our wonderful volunteer base, to our general manager, Jennifer West, and her assistant, Neri Campbell, to the many restaurants and members of the community who made donations to us through free meals, through monetary donations, goods in kind, and through volunteerism, to our vendors who helped us continue to feed seniors, and to the government for making this all happen. I want to thank you all for your underlying support, and we will be here even when this crisis is over. Thank you and be safe.
Good morning. Thank you from the Watson and Mary Zalday family.
Hi, this is Tom McCallum,
as a Caymanian overseas in London, England, I am so proud of what's going on in Cayman. I could give a specific shout out to so many friends and family on the front line back in Cayman, but I simply want to thank everybody. With family back in Cayman, it would be easy to feel fear or fright around what could be happening to them, and yet I don't. I am so assured by everybody working on the front line, from the Premier on down, and just simply want to give thanks and gratitude to all. Much love from London.
Now, as we listen to, sentiments expressed by many, Ms. Susan, do we have others? We invite you to call equally to share your thoughts with us. 949-8037 or toll free, 534-8255.
Okay, now. I'm Florence M. Williams from Westway. I'm thankful for the Westway Clinic, the nurses and the doctors for the help they have done to me, and appreciate and thank the Cayman government for his help to me and my family and my friends. Thank you.
Morning. I just wanted to say a great big thank you to the government and the frontliners for keeping us all well and safe. You guys out there are doing an amazing job.
All right, and certainly, as I was looking at some of the other comments that were shared with us as we listened to the calls as well as the WhatsApp voice notes, we recognize that maybe this time we'll remember that there is something about being a human being, but it's also, the fact that we need to be human as well. And as Mr. Hydes, as he called from the back to remind us, we pray for our leadership, but we also pray for a semblance of, integrity amongst us all. And when we listen to some of the words they use, maybe we will, start to take on board the importance of words. Life and death is in the tongue. But let's listen to this other WhatsApp message.
I have to share a huge, boundless, limitless, endless thank you to Danielle Coleman, Director of Hazard Management. I'm over in the UK doing my best to help the Cayman Islands Government Office in the UK and Caymanians overseas, but I have my downtimes too. And for a while there, I was real struggling. And it came out with Danielle, and despite the fact that she is day to day giving everything for Caymanians on the ground, she put her hazard management hat on and sent me care packages and lovely messages. And it's just incredible to know that someone who's so busy doing what she's doing will still make the time to care for one person 5,000 miles away who is a bit down, or was. So I'm certainly not anymore. So thank you so much. And thank you to everybody on island and off island who is working so hard to make this really difficult time not so difficult for so many of us. Thank you.
As I listen to that particular message, I'm reminded that if Miss Danielle doesn't mind, those who know her, as she says publicly, she's a hugger. So can you think how difficult it is for people like her, not to be able to embrace the way she would normally? Well, let's take this other call if we can. Good afternoon and welcome.
Good afternoon, Sterling.
Good afternoon, ma'am. How are you?
Very thankful and still highly blessed. How are you and your family?
We're giving thanks, ma'am.
I should have asked you that yesterday too. But
I know it's in your thoughts. Thank you.
Listen good now. I want to be the second one to I'm going to say that, like the young one said, big up the respite clinic.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
The doctors, but in particular, I'm going to say it this way. For all the doctors, all the nurses, and all the other staff members there at the respite clinic, where I'm going to name three now. Dr. Christian, Nurse Thelma Davis, and Nurse Liz Weber. And they know who it is because they listen to you, Sterling.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, and then it goes out to all of who is to everyone is working tirelessly, selflessly. That's the word, right? Selflessly.
Yes,
Yeah.
well,
To keep us
unselfishly,
all
selflessly. Mm-hmm.
on self. That's the word. So thank you.
No, it's both works.
So you know my language not so well now anyhow. anyway. So now don't forget now the Radio Cayman crew. I can't forget them. But I'm going for you. Here's the first. You know what I mean? Oh, that's Susan of mine. That's Susan of mine. Yeah. So I'm gonna hang up now and say blessings to all mothers when it comes. To all mothers. When it comes.
Yes, well. And to you. Thank you too, Mom. And with that, we'll do our news break. When the press briefing starts, we'll go to it. But stay tuned. Join us after the break.
Your 2 p.m. headlines brought to you by greenturtle.ky. Take a ride on the Green Turtle Express today. Download the Green Turtle app, the future of mobile, saving lives today.
Today's biggest news.
Radio Cayman.
It's only 2 species that we have here on Cayman.
Generations present.
Your voice, your choice.
For today's biggest news. Access.
Local, regional, international, this is headlines from Radio Cayman's newsroom team.
Today's biggest news.
The Public Transport Unit proudly announces the launch of its new website, www.caymantransport.ky. The website allows residents, visitors, and public transport providers to find a wide range of information pertaining to public transportation in the Cayman Islands in one convenient location. This includes information on public bus routes, bus and taxi fares, school bus service, tour operators, limousine services, and public transport legislation. Good afternoon. I'm Dion Anglin with your headlines. In news elsewhere, United States President Donald Trump has called the fatal shooting of Ahmaud Arbery, an unarmed black man in the U.S. state of Georgia, a very disturbing situation. Mr. Arbery was jogging in February when George McMichael and his son Travis, who are white, confronted him. They now face murder and assault charges. Mr. Trump told Fox News Today, "My heart goes out to the parents and the family and friends." Demonstrations have been planned today in Georgia, Florida, and online. And Indian officials have ordered an investigation after 16 people were run over by a freight train in the state of Maharashtra. The dead were migrant workers who had fallen asleep on the tracks while attempting to walk to a station from where they were hoping to get a train home. India has organized special trains to take migrants to their home villages. Tens of thousands of them fled cities on foot when India went into lockdown. That's a wrap of your headlines. I'm Dion Anglin.
Social distancing is crucial for our community to get back to normal. And never before has communication been so crucial. Keeping in touch with family, friends, and up to date requires you to stay in touch. Green Turtle offers the solution for both. Download the Green Turtle app now. Top up yours or a loved one's phone with any mobile carrier in any destination in Cayman. Phones delivered to your home, and with the new rewards program, you can even redeem points towards a new phone and other products. Download the Green Turtle app today. Green Turtle is not only the future of mobile, but today it can help save a life. Hashtag Stay Home Cayman. Take a ride on the Green Turtle Express today. Download the Green Turtle app. The future of mobile, saving lives today.
Your 2 p.m. headlines brought to you by greenturtle.ky. Take a ride on the Green Turtle Express today. Download the Green Turtle app, the future of mobile, saving lives today.
Staying home has just got a whole lot easier. Cayman Spirits has now launched a new delivery service, offering free home delivery of hand sanitizers and face masks. When COVID-19 struck Cayman, Cayman Spirits answered the call, repurposing their facilities to produce hand sanitizer during the island-wide shortage. Now that service is coming to your front door. Search for the Rum Runners in the App Store or visit rumrunners.ky to place your order of hand sanitizer and face mask. Free delivery with purchase of $50 or more. Rumrunners.ky by Cayman Spirits. Hashtag Stay Home Cayman.
With no vaccine, with no cure, our current solution is keeping our distance and staying at home. We stay at home to keep safe, to reduce harm to others. We stay apart while out and about, space between life and death. We keep our distance 6 feet apart because 6 feet apart is better than 6 feet below. We stay at home because it takes upwards of 40 nurses, doctors, laboratory technicians, housekeepers to care for one COVID-19 patient. Diagnosis, intubation, extubation to full recovery. 40 healthcare professionals and their families at risk while taking care of one COVID-19 patient. Breathe easy. Keep your distance. Stay home. Don't risk you. Don't risk others. This is Rotary Central saying, live to breathe, breathe to live, because breathing is everything.
Has being quarantined at home have you looking at your living space differently? Well, Tomlinson Furniture is now offering free island-wide deliveries and phone consultations to help you design a comfortable living space. For inspiration and ideas, browse the Tomlinson Furniture and Mattress Gallery Facebook page, Tomlinson Furniture Cayman on Instagram, or website at tomlinsonfurniture.ky. Open from 9:30 a.m. for phone consultations and orders. Call 949-5383. Tomlinson Furniture and the Mattress Gallery. Free delivery island-wide.
Shopping online and picking up your purchases are now available at A.L. Thompson's. We offer goods that you need now for your home and yard. Visit our website for details and register to shop. Currently, we sell only the items that are on the website, but we'll add products regularly and frequently to meet your needs. You could pay for your order by debit card, credit card, and store accounts, and then can drive in and pick up your purchases. We hope that you will enjoy shopping online at althompson.com. Please remain healthy and safe.
Talk today. But I do have some questions. Talk today.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners' participation program.
Talk today.
Because there are more questions than answers.
What the public is saying.
Waiting to take your calls right now. Sterling Dwayne Ebanks.
Hey, good afternoon. Welcome back. Thank you for joining us. Just a quick reminder that when the daily press briefing starts, we'll go through it as it does, so you don't miss anything as best as we can. But we invite you to call and share your thoughts with us if you so choose. Just ask that you forgive us if we cut you mid-sentence, because I know even if it's me, we're going to do the same. All right, 949-8037 or 1-800-534-8255. Got a lost count now, but it shouldn't be that difficult to count back, but a number of you have sent me postings from what you've seen online in the social media sphere recently, and three people said, well, yesterday in the press briefing, we heard that Cayman Rack, Little Cayman, now we're moving forward and certainly seeing some great signs there. But today now there's a posting by the Works Minister of some sort of a emergency field hospital being assembled, and is questioning why. I will try to figure this out, but like you, who knows? Maybe it's just an exercise. Let's go to our phones though. Good afternoon and welcome. Thanks for calling.
Yeah, hello, Dwayne.
Hey, sir. How are you today?
Good afternoon, Mario Ebanks. How are you, my friend?
I always joke and jest with you and would be inclined to address you a certain way, but I won't do that again today, right? So.
Oh, thank you. Yes, I'll move on because I won't get cut off in mid-sentence.
There you go.
Thank you very much, brother, and sympathies to you and your family as well, and also happy Mother's Day to all the mothers when it comes on Sunday.
Yes, sir.
I hope everybody is doing as well as they can under the circumstances. I just want to give a shout out to a couple of different frontline organizations and people, the health workers, of course, those who are working all day on the shifts with all kind of PPE on. It can't be easy to have all that stuff on all day and working on the front lines. And when they get home, if they can get home to their own home, because some guys stay in hotels, but if they get to their own home, they got to strip off all their clothes and all that. And I just really wanted to say thank you to all the frontline healthcare workers. Also, the frontline, other folks, the police, the Customs and Border Control, the work, people that are out there in the front lines at the supermarkets, spraying people's hands with alcohol products and the shopping carts and all that. Thank you all very much for doing that good work on the front line. Also, the governor, the Honorable Premier, and the senior policy-making team, and all those who support the front line. Thank you all very much. Employers who continue to pay their employees even though they don't have as much business. Thank you to all those employers who can do that and who are doing that. the landlords who are giving people some compassion with their rents and in some cases deferrals. Also the banks and utilities companies for giving concessions and giving breaks. Thank you very much. And finally, the pension administrators, those private pension plan administrators that are working long hours, 7 days a week, especially in the last 2 weeks, to try to get processed probably 25,000 pension relief payments from the emergency withdrawal program. Thank God we have $1.3 billion or so that we were able to draw from so that the government doesn't have to dip into its reserves to provide this relief. But I want to thank all those pension administrators and volunteers and staff that are working long hours going through emails and paperwork and whatnot. And finally, the notary publics who are providing notary services to those documents for those pension people, those who are charging minimal or charging nothing. Thank you all very much. So I'll leave it there, Dwayne, but I want to thank all those people, and God bless you all.
Amen. Blessings, sir. Thank you very much, too. And I'm told we have another WhatsApp voice note. Let's hear it.
Give a shout out this afternoon to all the frontline staff, police, health services, all the medical, the media, especially Radio Cayman, for keeping us up to date, and the newspapers. And I want to also say that all the government departments have come together. For instance, CBC have been helping out the Royal Cayman Islands Police at the stores, and it's all very welcome to each and every one of us. And I thank you all for keep on putting out the message that we should stay home and be safe. Thank you. Have a wonderful weekend and happy Mother's Day to all the mothers.
Free to provide it, at least indirectly, no cost to the public. Those wipes and sanitizers and the hand dispensing gizmos there, and we can clean the carts ourselves. We could clean it. One individual said, why isn't many of us perhaps doing it? Why is it, we need to have someone like children to show us. Maybe this would be something we'll do normally as all of us, not just the one or two who don't, but every single one. And I think Mr. Dennison referenced earlier, for the time being, let's understand that there are things we can do individually that would help make us all safe, not just now, but going forward. And perhaps some of that could be that we pay attention to what is happening and ensure that we are as much informed and involved and as engaged so that we continue the sense of. All right, with that, we're heading to the press briefing. Enjoy your weekend.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's press briefing on the coronavirus. I'm Donna Bush. Thank you for joining us via all of our channels as well as on Radio Cayman. We go first to Pastor Naveen D'Souza.
God of infinite love and mercy, we call upon you in this time of illness and challenges. Grant wisdom to the leaders of our islands, especially His Excellency the Governor, the Honorable Premier and his ministers, and all other elected members of government and civil servants. By your Holy Spirit, guide their deliberations, their decisions, and their actions. Grant healing and comfort to the sick, and strength to all frontline workers and caregivers. Aid our perseverance and lessen our distress, especially in those moments when we are scared and feel like we are sinking. May we put our trust completely in you and keep our eyes fixed on you. We ask this along with all the prayers deep within our hearts, through your Son, Jesus Christ, our Lord. Amen.
And thank you, Pastor D'Souza. We now welcome our panelists, His Excellency the Governor, the Honorable Premier, and the Honorable Minister of Health. With us in our studio today, we have the Medical Officer of Health, the Director of HMCI, and our Sign Language interpreter. Also joining us on Zoom are members of the media. We call first on Dr. Samuel Williams Rodriguez.
Hi, and good afternoon. I have some results to share with you, with the public today. We have received 297 results by press time, 225 from the process at the HSA, and 72 process at Doctor Hospital. Of those results, we have one positive. This was a screening test for an individual with no symptoms and no travel history, and no known contact with a patient known to have COVID-19. Public Health have started the investigation on this patient, and once we get more detail, we provided. We do have 296 negative results. So this trend of having a lot of negative results has continued. We're very happy with this trend, but as I said before in this forum and by the Premier and the Governor orders, because of the extent screening that we do at present, we actually anticipating that we will have some positive results, but Public Health will follow closely in this result on these patients. Up to today, we have a total of 81 positive cases. Out of those 81, 8 are symptomatic, 29 asymptomatic. We don't have any patient currently admitted related to COVID-19, and 41 patients have recovered, and we still have the unfortunate death of the first patient that was diagnosed from the cruise ship. At the flu clinic at the HSA, we have 8 cases seen yesterday. The flu hotline, 14 calls yesterday. And the government isolation facilities, we have 90 individuals that are present, and individuals in isolation by Public Health, and these are individuals who are positive for household, close contact, suspect under investigation. We have 104. I also want, before we move on to question, to inform the public that the regular screening that are done for school entry has been postponed due to the current situation. As you may anticipate, all the Public Health nurses are engaged with our response to the COVID-19 outbreak. But the school health coordinator at the Public Health Department will liaise with Education Department and the schools to schedule these screenings. Also, vaccination, we want to apologize to the public because our vaccination program has not been as normal, again, due to the situation that the country is having with the COVID-19, and most of our public health nurses are working in that department now. However, we have continued to do the 6 weeks postnatal clinic and vaccination, working together with the pediatrician at the HSA and also public health staff and some of the private clinics. We will gradually increase this service, and from Monday coming, please call 244-2562 to speak with a public health nurse for further updates. If you don't get an answer, please leave a message and you will be contacted back. So that's all I have for now. If you have any questions from the media.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Williams Rodriguez. We go first to the Caymanian Times, Ralph Lewis.
Good afternoon, Dr. Williams, and thank you for that report. It's very good news indeed. I have 2 questions for you. The first one is, the working community is preparing to return to work in the next week or 2. What healthcare advice would you give to those returning to regular duties who may become overwhelmed with clearing up all the backlog?
Well, the healthcare advice that we give to the public is the same one that we have been given during this time. Please make sure that they stay healthy, they drink a lot of fluid, they keep themselves mentally and physically fit. And also from a point of view of society, we need to continue with the social distancing and also the cough etiquette and all the hand hygiene and everything that has been advised and all along.
Okay. Would you recommend employers to sort of ensure that this is done as well?
It would be recommended for employers to make sure that this is done in the workplace, but I think the major responsibility is in the public itself, in the individual, to do what we all expected to be doing.
Okay. Thank you. My second question, are there any plans that you know of to sanitize the public areas, such as the streets or buildings where people may frequent on a regular basis?
We are looking to that action, or that approach, but right now there are no plans that I'm aware to sanitize the public places.
Thank you. That's it for me.
Thank you very much, Ralph. We now go to Kayla from the Cayman Compass.
Hey, Doctor.
I wanted to clarify about the patients in hospital. There had been 2 COVID positive patients that I believe are being treated for unrelated conditions. Are those 2 individuals still being treated?
Those individuals are still hospitalized, but their medical condition has nothing to do with COVID-19, and that's why we call them as being treated for COVID-19.
Okay, thank you. Are you able to provide any kind of update to parents of school-age children about when we might see the vaccination and health checkup program get back on track?
It's all depends on how the country is doing. If the country continue to do this well, and we continue to release some of the restrictions, and of course that by the government to do that, we will get to the point that soon, as long as the country is available, we will start organizing this vaccination vaccine, and the public health department is ready and have already things in plan to do catch-up vaccinations on weekends and things like that in order to get everyone back to par.
Great. And for non-emergency medical cases that can't be treated over telemedicine, does HSA currently have the capacity or plans to start revisiting those patients?
Those patients still can contact the HSA, especially the general practice department, the one that have chronic condition, in order if they need to be assessed by telemedicine or if they need a prescription or any investigation to be done. That's currently happening now. I'm aware that quite a few of the private facilities are using telemedicine as well.
Okay, great. And my last question, which might the panel might have some more insight on, is about the field hospital that's being set up today. Can you give more detail on how that facility and the secondary facility at, I believe at Jasmine, will be integrated into the public health plan?
They are already integrated into the plan, and those facilities were to use in case that we were overwhelmed at the hospital. It's better to be prepared. With the trend that we currently have, we may not use it, but we didn't want to get to the situation that we need those facilities and they were not available. Those facilities are beautiful. A great job has been done with these facilities, and they're ready to be utilized if we get to that point, which seems to be unlikely at present.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kayla. Thank you, Dr. Williams Rodriguez. We go now to the Honorable Premier.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. Happy Friday. These Fridays seem to come around very quickly these days. I want to say a few words before I make a couple of announcements about the way things are going in Cayman and generally around the world. Dr. Rodriguez Williams just spoke about the field hospital and how we all hope and expect that we won't need that, and many of the other facilities that we have and amenities that we have worked very hard to get and to put in place. And that is the reason we can have that hope and expectation is that the strategy so far has worked, frankly, incredibly well. When we look all around us and see the number of deaths, not just worldwide, but in particular in areas that are close to us, I've told the governor and some of my other colleagues over the past few weeks that I went through a few weeks of a recurrent dream where I dreamt that I was Andrew Cuomo, the governor of New York, announcing the latest death count at every one of his press conferences. We haven't had that there, and we haven't had that here, and we haven't had it here because, in large part, we have learned the lessons of other countries, and we have taken swift, decisive, and difficult decisions to ensure the health and welfare of our people. We are now at that point where, because of the success of the strategy, the pressures to simply give in and say, well, we've succeeded, let's just open back up the entire economy and let's get back to business as usual. Those pressures are continuing to ramp up, and all of us here are feeling them more and more every day. The more successes we have, the fewer positives that are reported, the more anxious and insistent people become to get their lives back to normal. Many people are losing and have lost much money, much income. Many businesses are crippled as a result of this. We are not insensitive to any of those things. We understand full well. And particularly in terms of development and construction, many people are very anxious to get back to business, and we are too. And then, of course, when people watch television and see what's happening in the United States, see what's happening in the United Kingdom, and more broadly in Europe, in terms of reopening, again, comparisons are made, and the pressures, more pressure is brought to bear on us. I just want to say this. It would be tragic to have made the sacrifices that we have made collectively as a country and as a people and throw it all away because we couldn't wait another week or two to get our particular business back up and running. I actually believe that President Trump's strategy, if I may call it that, will work. That they will be able to reopen the economy, and as a result of so many people having contracted the virus, there will be significant herd immunity built into the population in the United States. Really, the only issue is at what cost? A similar view could be taken of what's happening in Sweden and some other places. And I suppose it comes down to the ethos of the nation, of the people, of the governments involved. So far, we're now pushing, I think, 77,000 deaths in the United States. There's more than 30,000 in the United Kingdom. I don't remember what the number is in Sweden, but it's not insignificant. And it comes down to what price are you prepared to pay as a country and as a people to get business back to normal and to get people's lives back to normal. Our ethos here is that as far as it is humanly possible, we are not prepared to sacrifice any life just to get business back to normal. That has been the underlying philosophy of myself, the governor, and the government that I lead. And we are not about to change that view at this stage. So we are doing everything we can to ramp up the number of tests that we can actually have done in any given period so that we have a good grasp of the prevalence of the virus in the community, and we can take the necessary steps to trace, track down, isolate the individuals concerned, and if necessary, treat them. This requires patience and some more sacrifice on the part of everyone, because it means that it delays that much longer getting back to life as normal. But when the strategy succeeds, and I'm now using the word when instead of if, we will be able to operate in Cayman in a way that few countries are able to do or will be able to do for the foreseeable future. We can move about once we succeed with a high degree of confidence that the person next to you is not likely to pass to you, to transmit to you the virus. We've released Little Cayman. Cayman Brac is released with just a few safety conditions or precautions still in force. And I have no doubt that if we stay on track in Grand Cayman in another 4 to 6 weeks, we will probably be in that position as well. So again, I appeal to people, everyone, for your patience and your continued belief and confidence in what the government is doing to ensure the safety and welfare of everyone. I spoke earlier about the ethos of countries. Cayman has always been a place where we respect, we admire the elderly, not just for the contributions they've made, but because of their wisdom and the insight and the way they enrich our lives. That is certainly my personal ethos. Some of my colleagues say to me all the time when I'm telling them some story, and I'm fond of, those of you people who know me well, fond of telling stories, especially about Cayman and Caymanians, stories that sometimes go back 2 or 3 generations. And so my colleagues are fond of telling me sometimes that I must be older than I say I am, because there's no way I should know those stories. But I know those stories because of the time I spent around old people when I was growing up. And even now, I absolutely adore the time spent with old people. Elderly people enrich your lives in a way, if you let them, that younger people can't possibly do because they just don't have that experience. They can give you information, advice, guidance, insight that you only get having lived to be 70, 80, 90, 100 years. I've been very fortunate in that my great-grandmother was almost 102, my grandfather was 95, my father was 93, my mother 81, my great-aunt 102. My people live a long time. And that perhaps is why I and many Caymanians value elderly people and do not believe that it is simply good enough to say, well, they've had a good life, they're going to die anyhow. If COVID takes them, so what? I need to get my business back up and running. That is not our ethos. And for those who believe that it should be, I'm sorry, we just can't agree. And perhaps you need to consider whether this is the place that you ought to live and work and invest, because that is not our ethos. And in that vein, I want to do 2 shout-outs to 2 stalwarts of the Cayman community, both of whom have birthdays today. The first is, as I always call her, my old cousin, because she is my cousin, the Honorable Mary Lawrence, MBE, former Speaker of the House from 2009 to 2013, and a very noted community worker and historian. She is 80 years old today. Happy birthday, Miss Mary, old cuz. And I also want to shout out to Mrs. Isley Connolly, MBE, who is the widow of national hero William Warren Connolly, and was herself Chief Education Officer from 1970 to 1982 here. She's 97 years old today. And again, for reference for younger people, she is the mother of noted lawyers David Rich and Jackie Connolly, and architect Burns Connolly. So happy birthday, Miss Isley, happy 97th. I also want to say in advance, happy Mother's Day to all of the mothers. We know this is a very unusual Mother's Day, one where you, in many cases, will have to be the opposite of what you'd like, i.e. physically distant from your loved ones, your children and your other family. But we've done everything we possibly can to, I think, try to help with that, encourage everybody to use Zoom, encourage all children to make your orders, send your mother a nice meal if you're not living with her, and there are other delivery services available. we have lifted the curfew with respect to deliveries for Mother's Day. So as many of you as can, please take advantage of that. And finally, on a more somber note, I want to acknowledge that another public servant and former member of the Legislative Assembly, Mrs. Leola Estherline Ebanks, known to all of us as simply as Miss Esther, who died on the 23rd of April. Her body is currently lying in state at the Legislative Assembly, and although the public is not able, because of the curfew requirements, the shelter-in-place requirements to attend, some officials have visited the Legislative Assembly, and the proceedings can be followed live on CIG TV YouTube only. And her funeral services will be held tomorrow and will also be available on CIG TV from next week. Ms. Esther served one term in the Legislative Assembly from 1976 to 1980. She made a significant contribution not just then, but over the course of her many years of public service, and we, the government of the Cayman Islands, mourn her loss and acknowledge her contribution and extend our condolences to her family. Her flags were flown at half-mast on the day of her death and the day following, and flags are at half-mast also today. And I would ask the panel, and indeed all of those within the sound of my voice today, to join me in a moment of silence in honor of Ms. Esther's contribution to these islands. The Lord giveth, and the Lord taketh. Blessed be the name of the Lord. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you, Premier McLaughlin. Your Excellency.
Yes, thank you very much, and good afternoon, everybody. And let me first just add my own condolences as Governor to Miss Esther's family, and I know our thoughts and prayers are with everybody at this sad time. Also, my birthday wishes to Mary Lawrence, who I know very well. Very happy 80th birthday, Mary, and also Miss Connolly. So a very special day for you. And I first want to associate myself very closely and 100% agreement with everything the Premier has very articulately and coherently just said about our current strategy and where we are. And we are completely united as Governor, Premier and government in that strategy. And as I've been governor here for 18 months, and one of the things that has really struck me about Cayman is that respect and reverence for elderly people. And I personally have found that very inspiring and think it is really important. And I also do recognise we are asking an awful lot from everybody, and I do appreciate the contribution that everybody is making to our strategy. And I do appeal to you all to be patient for a bit longer. And we are at level 4 in our suppression strategy. We will be moving to level 3 if the test results continue to go as well as they are. And that means we will be able to ease up many of the restrictions. And I think that gives us hope and confidence as we go into to this weekend. On evacuation flights, the flight to Costa Rica and Honduras left today. So that's those are both departed. And I'm very pleased to confirm the Miami flight will take place on Friday, the 15th of May. You can book directly with Cayman Airways online. or by phone 949-2311. For the return flight to Cayman, seats are limited and available to people on a pre-approved list only, and Cayman Airways will be in touch directly with those approved to return on this flight. As I said yesterday, the flight to Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic, has been organised for Sunday the 17th of May, and you can now call Cayman Airways directly to book on this flight. And I've been asked to let you all know that the Cayman Airways reservation team will be available today until 6 p.m, tomorrow, Saturday, from 9 until 6, and Sunday, 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. And huge thanks again to Fabian Worms and everyone at Cayman Airways for all the help they're providing for these flights, which are helping a lot of people at a time of need. And I also just want to say a huge thank you to Maria Leng in my office, who has also been outstanding in making sure that these evacuation flights can happen. We were asked for some up-to-date figures. So as of today, with the two flights, a total of 921 people have departed our islands on evacuation flights, and 370 people have come in to the islands on those flights. Now, today marks the 75th anniversary of VE Day, when Britain and its allies accepted unconditional surrender by Nazi Germany, bringing to an end the Second World War in Europe. So it's a day of huge importance and should be a day of celebration, although people can't get together and gather as we would normally do so. I want to give a shout out to our veterans today and thank them for the sacrifices that they have made, and I'm very aware of the contribution of Cayman to the fight against Germany in the Second World War. 75 years ago today, Winston Churchill announced in a speech that in all our long history, we have never seen a greater day than this. Everyone, man or woman, has done their best. Everyone has tried. I hope that when we come out of the other side of this pandemic, we can all say the same thing, that everyone has tried their best to suppress the spread of this virus in our community. And as Her Majesty the Queen said in her recent speech, we should take comfort that while we may have more still to endure, better days will return. We will be with our friends again. We will be with our families again. We will meet again. I just want to do a couple of other very quick shout-outs. First of all, the Alliance to End Domestic Violence is offering a free online webinar on Monday, the 11th of May at 4 p.m. called Domestic Violence and COVID-19, How You Can Support People Who Are Experiencing Domestic Violence in the Cayman Islands. Now, this alliance is an organisation comprised of government entities and the Cayman Islands Crisis Centre, with a mission to empower people to live lives free from domestic violence through multi-agency coordination, advocacy, and public education. And this webinar will provide guidance on how community members can support people in their lives who may be experiencing domestic violence. To register for the webinar, please visit the Alliance to End Domestic Violence page on Facebook. Today is also Red Cross Day, which is celebrated around the world each year on 8th of May. And here in the Cayman Islands, the Red Cross continues to do great work behind the scenes. The organisation has coordinated efforts in the production of masks for frontline workers, as well as working diligently behind the scenes to support our COVID-19 response and hurricane preparedness efforts in a wide number of ways. So on this Red Cross Day, I would like to acknowledge the efforts not only of the Cayman Islands Red Cross volunteers, but all of those who have become a part of the Red Cross-managed National COVID-19 Volunteer Response, who can continue to provide an invaluable service to our community. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. Minister of Health.
I thank you very much, Donna. Good afternoon to everyone in Grand Cayman, Cayman Brac and Little Cayman, and all our Caymanian diaspora listening in. Indeed, it is Mother's Day weekend, and I thought mothers are so important that we needed to, as the other panelist has done, in honoring mothers. Mother's Day is a holiday honoring motherhood that is observed in different forms throughout the world. The American of incarnation of Mother's Day was created by Anna Jarvis in 1908 and became an official U.S. holiday in 1914. Mother's Day traditionally involves presenting mom with flowers, cards, and other gifts. The celebration of mothers and motherhood can be traced back to the ancient Greeks and Romans, who held festivals in honor of the mother goddesses Rhea and Cybele. But the clearest modern precedent for Mother's Day is the early Christian festival known as Mothering Sunday, once a major tradition in the UK and parts of Europe. But this celebration fell on the fourth Sunday in Lent and was originally seen as a time when the faithful would return to the Mother Church, the main church in the vicinity of their home, for a special service. This custom eventually faded in popularity before merging with the American holiday in the 1930s and 40s. Did you know that more phone calls are made on Mother's Day than any other day of the year? Phone traffic is normally spiked as much as 37%. Anna Jarvis established the Mother's Day International Association to help promote her cause, and her persistence paid off in 1914 when American President Woodrow Wilson signed a measure officially establishing the second Sunday in May as Mother's Day. Anna Jarvis had originally conceived the Mother's Day as a day of personal celebration between mothers and families. Her version of the day involved wearing a white carnation as a badge and visiting one's mother or attending church services. But it was not long before the same people she lobbied to help raise the profile of Mother's Day capitalized on its popularity, and in 1920, Jarvis became disgusted with how the holiday had been commercialized. While versions of Mother's Day are celebrated, worldwide traditions vary. In Thailand, for example, Mother's Day is always celebrated in August, on the birthday of the current Queen Circuit. In Ethiopia, families gather in the fall to sing songs and eat festival, a multi-day celebration honoring motherhood. At times, Mother's Day has always been a date for launching political or feminist causes. And in 1968, Coretta Scott King, wife of Martin Luther King Jr., used Mother's Day to host a march in support of underprivileged women and children. In the 1970s, women's groups also used the holiday as a time to highlight the need for equal rights and access to child care. Today's scripture comes from Proverbs 11:16 and Proverbs 31 and John 19. Proverbs 11:16, a gracious woman gets honor. Proverbs 31:27 through 31. She watches over the affairs of her household and does not eat bread of the idleness. Her children rise up and call her blessed, her husband also, and he praises her. Many women do noble things, but you surpass them all. Charm is deception, and beauty is fleeting. But a woman who fears the Lord is to be praised. Honor her for all that her hands have done, and let her work bring praise at the city. In John 19:26-27, when Jesus therefore saw his mother and the disciples standing by, whom he loved, he said unto his mother, Woman, behold my son. Then he said to the disciple, Behold thy mother. And from that hour, the disciple took her unto his home. Today, shout-outs, mothers in the Cayman Islands, happy Mother's Day to you all, and all Caymanians worldwide listening in. A special wishes to the Bordentown District, and in particular, Bordentown East. My daughter was actually born on Mother's Day, and she'll have a birthday this Sunday. She'll be 5 years old. Happy birthday, Naya. Also, happy birthday to Joshua Clark, who'll be 13 years old. Miss Hyacinth Rose, happy birthday to you. Mr. Ken Jefferson, FS, happy birthday to you. And also, Former Speaker, as mentioned earlier, Honorable Mayor Lawrence, happy birthday to you. In honor of Mother's Day, a special treat in Mother's Day languages. It's basically just saying Happy Mother's Day. And in Tagalog, Maligayang Arona Mahina. In Spanish is Feliz Dia de la Madre. In Jamaican, Guan Mama, a your day, bless up. In French, it's Bon Fête de Mere. And Mandarin, it's Mo Chin Ji Kwai La. I thank you. Announcements of virtual, there will be some virtual carnivals this weekend and concerts. There'll be a Mother's Day concert to Mother with Love virtual concert this Sunday, the 10th of May at 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. brought to you by the Seventh-day Adventist Conference and the Lions Club of Grand Cayman. Streaming live on Mother's Day concert, Lions Club of Grand Cayman and Miss Teen Cayman and CIG TV. Guest performances from international gospel artists, Miss Glacia Robinson, also the best of Cayman talents. I can tell you that I've heard Miss Glacia Robinson sing, and she is amazing. So I would tell you to tune into that on Sunday the 10th at 6 p.m. Maybe you, where you're living and your mother is living, you could communicate and watch it together virtually. There's also KMAS has a KMAS SD Carnival online on May the 16th, 12 p.m. to 6. Lots of solid international performers and DJs. Register on their website and join by Zoom or Facebook. 18 or over, please. Also, Badamanu has the 2020, Badamanu 2020, Cayman Carnival Badamanu virtual road experience. Age 18 years old and over. International artists and DJs, local and international, starting at 1 p.m. live on Facebook and Zoom. Wearing costume at home is optional. This is tomorrow, May 9th. Also, Cayman Carnival, the Renegade Mass, virtual mass experience tomorrow, Saturday, May 9th, 6 p.m. to 12. Must be 18 to get a free wristband. Carnival wear is optional. All bands invited. Play mass at home. Tons of international and local DJs from New York, St. Lucia, and Trinidad. Zoom in. I thank you. God bless.
Hi, Donna. If I can just mention two more birthday shout-outs because the messages came in. I just want to join in wishing Miss Hyacinth Rose happy birthday as well. She is Pastor Winston Rose's wife, and just as importantly, mother of our Cabinet Secretary Samuel Rose. Happy birthday, Miss Hyacinth. And to my dear friend for many, 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 many years, Mrs. Miriam Powry. Yes. Anglin, sorry, who is 89.
Wow. Okay. Yes. Happy birthday to everyone. So we're going to go quickly now to members of the media, beginning with April from Radio Cayman. April?
Good afternoon, everyone. I think the Premier is probably the one this question is aimed at, for lack of a better phrase. I've been getting a lot of email from people, parents, who are very concerned about the fact that as we start to reopen and they're expected to go back to work, they no longer have childcare options, they don't have access to helpers, and the kids aren't old enough to leave at home. And they're really concerned about some of the pressure their employers are putting on them. They want to work, but they just don't have the capacity to take care of their children at the same time. Is there any advice you can give them, or perhaps even a shout out to their employers to be a little flexible during this time of transition?
I get all easy questions, don't I?
Sorry about that. You're the boss.
But again, the appeal is for patience. So as I say, we are now working with a timeline of this, from where I sit, 4 to 6 weeks before things start to get back to some real semblance of normalcy. So what we've opened first are areas where we think the risk is least. That is delivery of goods and products and services. Assuming all of this goes as well as we'd like, in another week, 10 days, we hope to be able to open up other areas of industry, business, where people are actually able to go into facilities, go into shops. We're waiting 14 days between each of these to see, and praying that it doesn't happen, see whether the virus pops up in areas so that we can shut it down as quickly as possible. So what I'd say to employers, if you can avoid having people physically come into your business and work from home, let them work from home. The thing with domestic helpers and nannies and caregivers is that because of the nature of the work they do, it's impossible for them not to be in physical contact with the people they care for. And if they are living somewhere else other than in the household, there is that risk that they can contract the virus where they live and bring it into the house where they work. That's why we have been so careful and cautious about that. But as we become, I hope, increasingly more confident about the lack of prevalence of the virus in the community, we will be able to ease those restrictions so that people can get back their nannies and caregivers and so forth. Again, there is no magic fix that the government has for this. We understand the challenges that parents face. Even if you're not parents, when you get used to having someone around looking after you and they're not there, it is a huge miss. So we understand that, but I can't do more than say that, and again to appeal to everyone to let's just hang on a little bit longer.
Thank you very much, sir.
Okay, now we go to Kayla from the Compass. Kayla, please go ahead.
Hi, I wanted to see if we could get some more information about the field hospitals that are being set up and the capabilities, the purpose of those facilities.
Field hospitals.
I never heard this. Can you repeat that again?
Can you repeat? Yeah.
Sorry, I wanted to get more information about the field hospitals that are being set up, what their capabilities are, and what their primary purpose will be in terms of the types of patients that they will be receiving, if needed.
Thank you. We'll get Dr. Williams to chime in on this.
Right, thanks for the question. There are two facilities that have been identified, have been worked on to be used as an extension from the hospital in the case that is needed. Basically, one of them is to manage patients who are positive for COVID-19 and need management at a hospital type of care. And some of them, or the great majority, have mild symptoms and can be managed at home, but some of them will need a hospitalization. The other facility is basically to move some of the patients from the HSA in order to create more room at the HSA to manage these COVID patients again. That have been all proactive measures in case that there is a large outbreak of COVID patient in the Cayman Island.
And my understanding is that the second facility would be for non-COVID cases?
That's correct. The second facility is for non-COVID patients that need admission, and some of them will be transferred from Georgetown Hospital to that facility.
Great. And the COVID facility, my understanding is that that would be for mild rather than severe COVID hospitalization needs.
The most severe patient will be attended at Georgetown Hospital still, and also Health City Cayman Island if needed. Those patients will need medical attention at hospital level, but not to the level of ventilation and that type of level. If we get to the point, the facility is also capable to manage this type of patient if we will get to that point where we have to, all the hospitals at Georgetown Hospital and Health City, intensive care beds are occupied.
Great. Thank you for those details, Doctor. I also wanted to ask, follow up on a point the Premier made earlier that, we don't want to open up the economy too rapidly and in a few weeks regret that. And of course, in a few weeks is the beginning of hurricane season. And I imagine that we would like to be as prepared as possible, have COVID as well managed as possible before we get there. Can you talk about how we plan to simultaneously juggle those two?
I didn't get your last word.
Sorry. How do we plan to juggle the challenge of having COVID-19 coincide with the needs of hurricane season?
Well, I'll have Danny Coleman, who is the Director of Hazard Management, give you the detail. But just so you and everybody else appreciate that all of these considerations are weighing heavily on us as we are working assiduously to try to stamp out, to eliminate the COVID virus in this community. Can you imagine the challenges of trying to run shelters with physical distancing requirements if you have the virus running rampant through this community? Those are the sort of things that give us nightmares, and are all part of the considerations we have when we are trying, constantly adjusting the strategy and trying to ramp up things like testing and measures to eliminate the virus.
Great, thank you for that. And yes, I actually did speak with Danielle Coleman earlier today. And I also wanted to touch on an issue that...
Danielle's actually here, so you can...
Thank you.
Because others might appreciate what she has to say as well.
Just for the benefit of the wider audience.
I wasn't sure if she was there or not.
Thank you, Kayla. Just for the benefit of the wider audience, I know the Compass will be covering this next week in a podcast or on an editorial or so forth. But there are a lot of considerations that we're looking at right now from hazard management, but also from the wider NEOC. This covers things like the shelter capacity, also identifying shelters that would be for example, more vulnerable, such as elderly and immunosuppressed persons. Our hurricane exercise on the 20th and 21st of May will focus very much on scenarios in the NEOC, what that might look like. But we're also thinking things like, obviously, our UK SAT team right now are helping us with logistics, with supplies coming in. We appreciate, obviously, supply chains have been affected by COVID, and we've worked very well around that so far. But of course, if we have the added additional issue with hurricane supply chains being affected, we really need to look at alternative plans and contingency plans and perhaps different locations for getting supplies in. A lot of our presentations moving forward with both, public buildings, public partners as well as private partners will focus on the different issues that those individuals have to think about. Things like evacuation flights, what does that look like? But also, from a community perspective, obviously the financial aspects of the impact of COVID has had a significant impact on a lot of people's purses. So how do we prepare for the hurricane season ahead with perhaps less money in our pockets? So those are the kind of considerations, but I know we'll be doing a lot more work moving forward in the next couple of weeks on what that looks like. And if anyone has any questions, please reach out to Hazard Management. But also we have a lot of information on our website, which is www.caymanprepared.ky, as to what you need to know for hurricane, preparing a plan, making sure you have some supplies, what will you do if you go to the public shelters and so forth. And again, we'll do our best at Hazard Management to make sure we're ready, the Cayman Islands are ready for any eventuality this year. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Wonderful, thank you for that. I just have one last question before I hand over the screen. I know that a lot of people on island are wondering about fuel prices and how the drop in fuel prices might affect electricity prices on island, if at a certain point the public might feel the benefit of that.
Well, yes. Yesterday I know there was quite a firestorm about it, as people, including myself, got their electricity bill and saw that it was significantly higher than it had been in previous months. And of course, people factor in a number of news items, including the fact that the bottom has fallen out of the oil market over the course of the last month or so in particular, and that prices are at absolute rock bottom. But the reason why you would see an increase in your bill is probably twofold. One, much greater usage, because there are likely to be more people in your house for longer periods now than would normally be the case. A lot of people are working from home, children are home, and of course the weather is getting warmer. But in terms of why there is no reduction in the fuel costs, because I think most people will know as they read their bills that the fuel charge or surcharge is what's called a flow-through, and is a separate item on the bill, because CUC charges the customer precisely what they pay for fuel. They get no markup. They're not allowed to mark up on the cost of the fuel. But although oil prices have fallen significantly in recent weeks, CUC purchases fuel 2 months in advance. So they paid the price for fuel that obtained 2 months ago, and they are still passing that cost through to customers. But based on the information I've had, by the June and July bills, people should see a significant reduction in the fuel surcharge. But I caution, that doesn't mean you'll see a reduction in your bill, because if usage increases, the bill probably will not reduce. And of course, it's getting warmer, and as things get warmer, there's greater demand on air conditioning in particular, and that usually pushes the price, the cost of your fuel, of your CUC bill up during the summer months. But I've had I won't call her name because I haven't asked her permission, but I have a very bright lady in my constituency who, on our constituency chat, did a breakdown of the cost per kilowatt hour for the benefit of the people on the Prospect and Red Bay Community Group chat. And the costs are exactly the same per kilowatt hour now as they were last month, which, if I'm correct, it's 24 cents per kilowatt hour. It's just that usage has gone up significantly for almost everyone, myself included.
Okay, Kayla, does that answer your question? And do you have other
questions? It does. Thank you for that.
Okay, do you have further questions, or that's it?
That's all for me.
Okay, thank you very much. We're going to now go to CNS with Nikki Watson. Nikki?
Thank you, Donna. I have a couple of questions for the Premier, possibly the Governor. The strategies that the Cayman Islands has taken for COVID, are they very similar to other islands around the Caribbean, particularly the British Overseas Territories?
I think I can say with confidence, yes. We've had a number of these, but I had a conference call with Barna Sugg, the UK Overseas Territories Minister, yesterday, along with the other overseas territories leaders. And yes, I think I can reaffirm that their position with respect to the value of human life and putting that above economic considerations is part of their approach to this as well.
Okay, and when it comes to results, are there any results around the Caribbean that you're particularly worried about? Are there any outliers?
Around the Caribbean generally, or the overseas territories in particular?
Well, either.
Well, I think generally the Caribbean has done quite well. I don't have all of the statistics at my fingertips. I haven't reviewed them in a couple of days, but I think St. Martin has a number of deaths. I think 13 or 14, a population of 100,000. It's two nations, two separate nations, but it's about 100,000 people on the island. I can't remember what the number is in Trinidad or Jamaica, but I know the overseas territories, the only one that has had a, I can't even say it's a significant number, but it's significant in relation to the size of the population. Bermuda's population is, I think, just a little less than Cayman's. I think they've had 6 or 7 deaths, mostly because the virus got into their rest homes. Once it gets in there, right across the world, you see what happens. But the overseas territories, I think, are performing very, very well. Some are having challenges, not necessarily COVID-19 related, but coinciding with COVID-19. I won't go into those details, but I think they're all managing quite well. Of course, everybody is worrying about the economic consequences of this and how we all keep our countries running with no tourists for the next 9 months or 6 months, however long it takes.
So one last question. When you talk to other leaders of Caribbean countries, are they getting as much grief as you are for the strategies?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know if I can fairly answer that. I didn't hear them complaining too much on the chat, on the conference call yesterday about that. But I know Bermuda. In Bermuda, they get as much grief. The premier there gets as much grief as I get here. But I can't honestly speak for the other territories because I haven't heard them complain.
Okay, I won't give you any more today then.
That's all right.
Nikki, thank you very much for that. With that, we're going to begin to wrap up today's press briefing with any final remarks as we go into Mother's Day weekend. We'll start with the Minister of Health.
Yeah, just wanted to mention happy birthday to Eleanor Solomon and Jacob Hugh and Derek Scott. And also wanted to thank Cruz Borden for giving out free masks to the frontline workers. Thank you very much, Cruz Borden, for that Cayman kind gesture. Also want to shout out the Cayman Airways reservation staff for all they're doing in getting our Caymanians home to us on those special flights. And also, last but not least, want to say Happy Mother's Day to my mother and my wife, just in case I get in trouble for that. But that's it.
Okay, Your Excellency.
Well, just to say happy Mother's Day to everybody. I don't think I did cover that in my speech, but a shout out again to Lynn. We all watch her closely. She has to work. Carolyn. She has to work incredibly hard, and the joy on her face when she's obviously enjoying saying something. And when we talk about Mother's Day, I've been seeing the joy on her face. But that's been lovely to watch.
Love Miss Carolyn.
Yeah, I too would like to finish it again by saying Happy Mother's Day to all of the mothers out there. And to say happy birthday to young Jacob Hugh, who is one of the sons of Minister Joey Hugh. Happy birthday, Jacob, on Mother's Day.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. All right, but quite a bit of information to give you before we actually say goodbye. A reminder from Commissioner of Police, Mr. Derek Byrne, that the following curfew restrictions, of course, remain in place until 5 a.m. on the 15th of May. So please listen carefully, just in case you're not sure. The soft curfew or shelter-in-place regulations on Grand Cayman remains in place between 5 a.m. and 8 p.m. Monday to Saturday. The hard curfew or the full lockdown is for everyone except essential services personnel. That remains in operation here on Grand Cayman and Cayman Brac between the hours of 8 p.m. and 5 a.m. nightly Monday to Sunday. Also, you can exercise up to 90 minutes, folks, between the hours of 5:15 a.m. and 7 p.m. daily, Monday to Saturday. No exercise is permitted on Sunday during the period of curfew. This relates to Grand Cayman only, as these restrictions have been removed from the sister islands. Now, a full 24-hour hard curfew as it relates to our beaches. Access to the beaches, the public beaches, that is, on Grand Cayman remains in place through to Friday, the 15th of May, 2020 at 5 a.m. This means that no access to public beaches on Grand Cayman at any time until that date is allowed. This stops any person from entering on, walking, swimming, snorkeling, fishing, or engaging in any type of marine activity on any public beach here on Grand Cayman. The Commissioner is reminding the public that breach of the curfews carries a penalty of $3,000. and imprisonment for 1 year or both. Also, this Sunday, as mentioned throughout the conference today, is Mother's Day, and a reminder again about the concert, Mother's Day concert that's being put together by the Lions Club of Grand Cayman and the Seventh-day Adventist concert. It's a Mother's Day concert featuring local talent, as mentioned earlier by the Minister of Health and international gospel artist Glacio Robinson, right here on CIGTV from 6 p.m. this coming Sunday, May the 10th. We invite you to watch. Also, you can watch on the Facebook page of either the Lions Club of Tropical Gardens or the Cayman Mother's Day Concert Facebook page. A reminder, again, to go online to gov.ky/coronavirus if you have any questions that you're not sure what the answer is. Also, eservices.gov.ky. Please remember you can go there as well to take care of all of your renewals and other business online. We thank you to the public, you the listening and viewing public, as well as to the panel for joining us for the press conference this week and this Friday. Coming up for those watching, a look at today's regional and world coronavirus statistics, and happy Mother's Day to all of you.